Okay, well that took a frustratingly long time for no adequately explored reason.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Goddamn fucking OBS refused to recognize the capture card for some reason. And I restarted and that didn't fix it, and then I restarted again and that still didn't fix it, and then I unplugged the capture card, restarted, then plugged the capture card back in and that fixed it. So I didn't do anything different. Nothing has changed. Literally nothing has changed. It's the exact same setup that it always was. Just
Alright,
now
I
it's
suppose I
working.
should head over to Discord because now the stream is actually live. Presumably I'll be getting things from Bio shortly.
It was gonna be a real problem if that just didn't work going forward, because like Baz and I are on the final day of the first round of Tsukihime at this point.
Ooh, the kitty's got another new cat tree at Chateau Bio. I do think someone should inform one of your cats that generally those enclosures are designed for them to fit entirely in and not curl around, but that is adorable though. But yeah, they really don't like just sleeping in the enclosure. Then again, it might just be that my cat's small enough to fit inside her enclosures without having to lay around them.
You have to remember that Bio's cats are the same cats that thought that a, PS3 and or PS4 was a very good cat bed.
To be fair, aren't those warm? Typically?
Sort of depends on what they're doing at the moment.
Okay. Ready to try and figure out which Artoria I've been sent this week? Ahem. Artoria. But the Starbucks-addicted Sith Lord J-pop idol from an alternative universe aged up a few years and got a tan while on vacation in Dubai.
Oh yeah, that one's not out yet. That's summer after next, I think. I think that was summer this year in JP. No, last year, but
This
yeah.
And-
MH double X.
And also a mech suit.
MH double X alter.
Alright, now that the Artoria recap is done. And I had to close the stream for like the 4th time to actually get it to update to that image instead of just the title card.
Sounds like a personal problem.
It's just everything's scuffed tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, well, as one does.
My controller.
Because that's what we're calling it these days.
はい。それがマスターの判断なら。
I hear neither affirmation nor denial in her voice. But her eyes seem filled with regret.
Ouch.
I guess Tosaka is going to prepare us for the transplant. I don't know the procedure, so I just have to leave it all to Tosaka.
まずはセイバーからね。白を魔術回路をオンにしたまま、できるだけ心を乱さないように待機していて。
I close my eyes and switch over the artificial nerve in my body. Thanks to Tosaka's instruction, I've been able to turn my circuits on and off effortlessly. Since when? Oh, we're leaving that bit there, except they're clothed now. That's weird. A red flower entangles the white flower. Tosaka climbs up to straddle Saber, who lies still. Then she begins to run her fingers freely along the curves of Saber's slender form. Saber's slender form. Good lord.
What were you saying yesterday about your ability to read and speak being completely fine?
何って、セイバーにもリラックスしてもらおうと思って。セイバーが力を抜いてくれないと 成功率が下がっちゃうし。
What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm doing Les things. Don't worry about it. I've just realized I'm bi.
ああ、そういうことか。悪い。
Besides, what
続
are
け
you
てくれ。
complaining about? You get to watch.
ええ、どうも。それじゃあ服を脱ぎましょうか、セイバー。
は？
いちいち驚かないの。脱ぐって言っても一部だけよ。魔術回路の移植は精神と体の融合よ。できるだけ接触を多くして遮蔽を少なくしなきゃいけないでしょ。
Osaka is completely calm about this. Saber and I are the only two who are flustered about this as Tosaka begins undoing Saber's collar.
待ってください、リン。それでしたら自分ででき。腕を上げるのも辛いくせに強がらないで。はあ、それともエミヤくん、マスターの責務としてセーバーを自分で脱がせたいとか。
Also, just as a reminder, while this process of Shiro originally getting laid is going on, Archer is literally dying while fighting off an 11-foot tall half-ton raging meat tank.
Well, yeah.
I want to call her a fool, but I snap my mouth shut. All jokes aside, I'm not suited to a task like that. If I had to do it, I wouldn't be able to maintain my composure.
すまない。そっち任せた。
よろしい。そういうわけだから白も脱ぎなさい。は、上着脱ぐだけでいいから。下まで全部脱いだら殺すからね。
She could too.
I can't tell if she's joking or being serious.
No, generally speaking, women tend to be serious when they tell you to keep your clothes on. It's called consent. You don't exactly want to push that.
Seems like I need to strip to connect with Saber, though.
白、お願いです。しばらく背を向けていていただけないでしょうか。
わかった。準備ができたら言ってくれ。
Oh, cringe.
I turn away and fold the shirt I was wearing. Also, I took it off at some point, apparently. Or I prefer to think he didn't. He's just folding it on his body somehow. I try to distract myself and hide how nervous I am by folding the shirt up neatly, sleeves and all. So I fold the shirt.
大丈夫、セイバー。はい。だいぶ楽になりましたが。
Don't worry about me, I'm folding my shirt. I need to calm down and fold my shirt. It's not folded yet. I try to get my fear under control as I fold
continue
my shirt and find
yeah.
myself dreading how painful and difficult the magic circuit transplant will be. But at least my shirt is folded, and how it might fail. Unlike my folded shirt, which was success.
At least when Berserker shows up to kill us, he'll have noted the politely
The very folded
shirt.
shirt, yeah. Nice folded shirt in the corner. This is just a step along the path, as was folding my shirt. I should be more worried about the fight with Berserker that comes after this, and whether my shirt will remain neatly folded during...
And more importantly, whether or not Berserker will take the time to appreciate the neatly folded shirt.
I am the best at folding shirts.
Yoshiro.
Shiro, I mean, a master shirt folder.
まあ、
We do pick the strangest things to like hone in and obsess over when we're recording.
Okay. Okay. We're much more tame than we used to be. Everything's good. I forget to breathe. I've seen her bare skin before, like that time that I walked in on her in a towel. But I've never seen Saber like I'm seeing her now as she lies in bed. It must be all this tension in the air. You think Herc isn't the one who does all the laundry at Ilya's house? He knows all about proper shirt folding etiquette. It's not just me. Saber's acting weird, too. She acted normal when I saw her bare skin before.
白、こっち。ここに上がってセイバーに覆いかぶさって。
It's like someone else is controlling my body. I'm walking towards the bed, but it doesn't seem real to me.
セイバー、同調までは私がやるわ。それからあとはあなたにお願いするけど、持って行きすぎないように注意して。少なければ少ないほどシローの負担は減るから。わかりました。お願いします。リン。
I have no idea what they're saying. I'm too focused on my very nicely folded shirt. Right
Am I
now,
breathing?
all I can do is breathe. We get even closer. We're so close, our skin is almost touching. I feel Saber's weak breath on me. I support my weight on my hands. My body so close to her. My shirt folded nicely to the side. Rin speaking German, as you do.
実質。棒が接続開始。
Is Mar here? Can I ask Mar to translate? No, Mar does not appear to be here. Boo.
Mar, how does German?
Oh well.
The chant begins. I try to focus my consciousness on what's happening, to clear my mind so I can sympathize with Saber. And stop
Poor
thinking
Saber.
about my wonderfully folded shirt.
小さく。小さく。
That I'd like to point out, Rin was very much not saying what's on the screen.
No, I was about to say, subtitles definitely not matching here.
As long as Shiro does his best to think about how expertly folded his shirt currently is, he won't have to think about how weird this entire situation is.
And yes, I'm aware Google's my friend, but I had to use Google Translate to make it through my workday yesterday. I'm in no rush to use it today.
円環航路開始。
I only see Saber's face. She's already in a meditative state. Or passed out, one of the two. I can't keep my eyes open forever. I reluctantly close my eyes.
大きく。大きく。大きく。大きく。
Can't translate, but apparently the reason why Reem's incantations are in German is because her family stole all their shit from them.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. They did just steal most of their magic from the Edelfelts, but the real problem is that
連続閉鎖。
she's speaking Japanese and not German. My senses begin to fade. It's the same floating sensation as when I create my magic circuit every night. The feeling of my ego, my mind, leaving my body, and a hot metal rod replacing it in my spine and also in my pants.
But again, at least my shirt is fine because it's been
It's
crisply
very
neatly
nicely,
folded.
very nicely folded. Maybe she's just so good at this shit that she's speaking German in Japanese. This time, though, it's running in reverse. Normally, I feel that sensation coming from my back. Today, I feel it coming from my dick. But right now, my consciousness is escaping from my chest. The five senses are functions associated with the physical body. The moment my consciousness leaves my body, I lose my sense of hearing. But my ears are more sensitive to Saber's breathing, so I can hear. Her slow, steady breathing begins to speed up. You can hear just fine, asshole! I hear the heart pounding in my... Your hearing is fine! Blood rushes through my veins.
Which I can hear happening because my hearing is fine.
Shiro, less thinking about swords and more thinking about your immaculately folded shirt. Blood, yeah. I leave the vessel known as Shiro Emiya and slide into her body, physically. Is what very much used to be the case.
Yeah, statements I don't need to hear my brother say.
My consciousness sinks deeper into her. Yes, consciousness. That's what we're calling it these days. My self swirls and converges, invading her as a solid crystal? What? Sorry?
Gemstone dick? Question mark?
Jiro has transmogrified into gemstone dildo, I think, maybe. This is not any less weird than the original. What the hell? Just keep thinking about shirt, Jiro. Keep thinking about shirt. Pulsing, hot breath. A nicely folded shirt in the corner. Our hearts, not our bodies, touch. Except the bodies too.
Presumably.
Presumably. Her voice rings out like a bell, but my hearing is broken, so I can't hear it. And in response, my essence escapes my physical body. Well, Shiro is a very quick shot.
Clearly. That was what? 2
Like,
seconds?
2 seconds, yeah. You know. It's symbolic. My senses are transformed.
Huh?
I have no hands, no legs, no self.
I'm just a puddle of splooge.
But I do have an immaculately folded shirt, and I continue on in this bare state. Time seems to flow backward. Instead of flying, I feel as if I'm being left behind. I accelerate. Gotta go fast. I'm trying so hard to make it unambiguously clear that nothing untoward is happening here, is only making it more obvious something untoward was supposed to happen here. I know, it's really something. The body, persona, order, law, immaculately folded shirts, my pants are still on, don't worry about it. I became an arrow, shattering every barrier around me, including the one in Saber, destroying the boundaries that separate one person from another physically
that
with my
couldn't be-
gemstone dick.
Couldn't be more obvious.
Sparks race along the circuit. This isn't Sparks.
I would
right?
point out, though, that if he was having to shatter barriers in Saber, she'd be screaming. That kind of low-key hurts.
His hearing is broken. He doesn't.
He hears things just fine. He could hear his blood rush, and he could hear his heartbeat, and he could hear the whatever else bullshit they were trying to do. His hearing's fine.
I don't know. He said it was broken that one time. Before immediately contradicting himself like 4 times in a row. Shiro, shirts, think about them. I freeze in the ecstasy of reaching the speed of light.
You are so, like, listen, I understand that most men, their first few times are very, very, very fast to come, but this is ridiculous. Saber, hate to tell this to you, hun. Fake the orgasm, or he's gonna be crushed.
Oh god! Guys, was this techno rave fucking magic circuit blue bullshit in the original? I swear I don't remember this, but it's also been like 6 years. So, actually more than, it's been like 10 years.
Chat's saying no, it was not.
Okay, good.
Fairly unanimously.
Good. Right. I didn't think I remembered this, but, you know, it's been a decade, so. They say a person's life flashes by in a single instant.
Dude! Have some sort of fucking stamina. You physically train all the goddamn time. Get some self-control, you one-pump chump. Like, seriously.
The flashbacks are cruel. Every instant passes by in the blink of an eye. I can't look at it directly, so I find myself going emotionally numb. If only I had a nicely folded shirt to focus on instead. So this is a mental journey.
Back to my nicely folded shirt.
Shirts, shirts, shirts. I'm reminded just how comforting our physical bodies and nicely folded shirts, our anchors, can be. And yet it's Sakura who Shiro compares to an inexperienced prostitute. Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, what?
The Heaven's Feel is a route.
Sure, right. But haven't you guys told me I'm gonna like Shiro more in that route?
Yeah, but that line isn't gonna exist anymore. That was in the sex scenes. That was also like 2 minutes, not even. Yeah, that was seconds before he then went on to say that he didn't love her while he was banging her. And then also, having called her an experienced prostitute, said she had no experience moments later. It's tremendous.
I'm not criticizing his poor pullout game. I'm criticizing his poor stamina.
It's just
Like,
one of the lines from the already poorly written H scene.
Like, objectively, he should have more stamina than that. I'm insulted on Saber's behalf.
He literally says, "I don't want Sakura," while he's like balls deep inside of her. Yeah, it's true. He was
Why
thinking,
do any of you expect me to like this man?
he was thinking about Reen at the time.
Yeah. I like him with Reen, but that is such a douchebag, dickwad, dude bro move, and I can't support that.
Fortunately, it doesn't exist anymore, so it's not a problem. I visualize the foundation of magecraft. Thing you need to consider, Willow, is that Heaven's Feel kinda sucks. Yeah, true story. The human operation is quantified. Hundreds of institutions, millions of joints form a circle. The endless complex patterns are, in fact, just a highway formed by simple repetition. All heading into the vastness of the future. Heaven's Feel is... Shiro is less of a fucking dickhead in that route by comparison of the misogyny thing, but it's probably one of the I mean, Heaven's Feel is the best route. Or, sorry, not Heaven's Feel. UBW is the best route by far, like far and away. Heaven's Feel has the best endings, like the best bad ends in the game. Like both of the super good ones are in Heaven's Feel. There's a bunch of good ones in general, but like the really standout ones are like all in Heaven's
Okay,
Feel.
I misread that line that's currently on screen. It does not end with
like
that
a-
heading towards a dick city of light.
It's like a vehicle of some kind heading towards a dick city of lights. It's just like a giant train penis that's like a laser
Listen.
train dick, you know.
Listen, that can be entertaining.
Although yes, Ilya does make Heaven's Feel much more tolerable. Here in the present, my thoughts pass by at the speed of light. Best part of Heaven's Feel is unironically all of the parts that don't have anything to do with its main heroine. Kind of the unfortunate reality of things. Yeah. Also, why is Aoko here shooting the moon exactly? I'm very confused. Eternity passes in an instant. I passed through the last boundary. How many of them does Saber have? I think there's usually only one, isn't there?
Yes.
Well, maybe two if you have like an exceptionally long dick. But
No,
at that point,
no.
they will be literally crying and
but-
possibly dead.
But also, here, unless of course the first thing he broke through was just managing to get the tip in, which would just be sad
Then
for
again,
the amount of...
they did say that they didn't undress, so I guess he had to go through his own underwear, his own pants, then Saber's skirt, and then her underwear.
Okay, no,
and
you
then
don't...
another barrier.
No, you don't have to go through a skirt. Skirts are basically tubes.
Shiro
Those can be
doesn't
hiked up.
understand this.
Yes, but Reen does, and she was there to help.
Yeah, but Reen's just having fun watching at this point. So maybe there were multiple boundaries, fine. But he breaks through and he's inside of her now, so that's all that matters. You know how it is, sometimes you just get drunk on a cold February morning. Blow up a chunk of the moon.
It's the worm that everyone loves again.
I see a glimpse of Artoria's magic circuits, not my own. Hers are actually competent, unlike yours. And then Aoko blows up the moon again. God damn it, Aoko, leave the moon alone. Wrong timeline. The changes are extreme. the speed and light of the world vanish all at once. Here, it's dark. Here, it's heavy. The pressure of it pushes against my bodiless form. The air is so thick I may as well be underwater. My body sinks, feeling only the agony of being clamped in a vice. Oh,
No. Hard refuse. There is absolutely a suspending all other disbelief. I'm sorry, but if someone decides to sex you up as a woman, and they last all of 2 seconds, you are not coming. I do not care what magic bullshit is going on. There is no way she's a vice at the moment, because quite frankly,
maybe she just has really good control. Like she's an expert at kegels or something, you know?
No. Even if, but just no.
Also, yeah, if Aoko could just blow up Berserker for us while she's here, that would be great. She could handle it.
And yes, I am positive about that.
The path is deep, and I can't see the bottom of the path. I feel myself fall through the thick twilight, plummeting deeper into an even denser darkness. I can't find my nicely folded shirt anymore. I'm very distressed. It seems impossible that just a moment ago, I traveled 10,000 miles in the blink of an eye. Yes, that would be quite impossible. Now, even going a single mile seems like it would be an arduous, eternal journey. I feel neither light nor hope, nor folded shirts.
I feel neither light nor hope. Wow, you are the most ungrateful motherfucker to ever get laid. Just, wow, Shiro Emiya.
Well, I mean, can you blame him? Saber clearly wasn't into it at the start, right? She was like, do we have to?
Sorry, Mar, not touching that comment with a 10-foot pole.
Are these really Saber's magic circuits? They're completely different from mine.
Well, yes, hers are naturally existing. Yours is a literal metal rod you've shoved up your spine.
Google it. The shape of the circuits, the number of pathways, all that differs from person to person, but this is unlike anything else. This isn't a matter of scale or ability. Saber's magic circuits are fundamentally different than a mage's. She's not a mage! Currently. The path rumbles. Every time it does, my tiny self nearly shatters. 3-centimeter dick. Just saying.
Get some fucking stamina, you goddamn piece of trash!
I don't know what Saber's magic circuits are like, but I can tell the sympathizing magecraft is functioning properly. This is not a failure. The dark, heavy pressure of this place doesn't seem like Saber, but it's also not an impure place.
Pretty sure by definition of what's going on, it's strictly speaking no longer pure, which would by default then mean it is in fact an impure place, unless your micro penis is literally so
3
small.
centimeters. It's brimming with life. The flowing air is blood and a swirl of... Wait, what? The flowing air is blood and a swirl of magical energy.
I could almost
What?
make sense of that statement if he was earning his Red Wings right now, but that is definitely not what's happening, so...
Shiro's real magic circuits have always been there. It's just more that he's never used them prior to the past couple of days because of the stupid false circuit bullshit his dad taught him. Yeah, Shiro does actually have magic circuits. He just never figured out how to use them until Tosaka shoved a gem down his throat.
You know what? I'm just head... No, because that doesn't make sense with everything else that's been said. I was gonna say, I'm just headcanoning he's earning his Red Wings right now, but...
I realize I've forgotten to breathe. I haven't needed to. Sinking is painful, but it's not life-threatening. It is, though. I look up into the darkness I've sunken into, but I seem to be past the point of no return. I can't see anything in this darkness. I'm submerging gradually, but the distance ahead is infinite. Shiro has 25 circuits to be precise. The average number of circuits for a mage is 20. See, Shiro is a slightly above average mage in terms of just natural ability. It's just that he sucks because his dad taught him wrong on purpose as a joke.
It unironically would have been less weird at this point if they had just smash cut an FMV.
Of a big dumb CGI dragon. Yeah. The air grows even heavier. My rate of descent slows yet again. I squint into the darkness. I don't like how fleshy this tunnel looks.
This just kind of further supports my earning Red Wings theory.
The seemingly endless road does have an end. I feel the heat of Saber's body. I feel her every breath, so close. The final destination, where we do space animals only, no items.
I was about to say we're suddenly playing Smash Brothers.
That's the only correct way to play Smash Brothers is no items, space animals only, final D. I reach the source of Saber's magic circuits, the center of her mental world. But then, what I see is beyond my capacity to understand. It's the core of a star.
Oh, I thought that was an H. I was about to say, what the fuck is the core of a star?
Well, that's like, it's the thing that makes Shart, like, you know, worship her god. Like, it's the core of the Shar, right? Shar, Lady of the Night, right? I've reached the embodiment of some impossible, scorching heat. I think that's scorching and not searching. Could be two O's. Breathing from the depths of the earth.
It does kind of look like two O's to me. Does it look like two O's on my phone? It's very hard to read on my phone, so no idea.
The fiery red surface swirls, and then there's a splash, like stagnant mud. Splish. It's less a splash and more a splat.
I was about to say, that sounds more like a splat to me.
Yeah. At the bottom, there lurks a giant shadow. Its fiery eyes fix on the tiny intruder. Whether its master gave the intruder permission to enter or not, it is still a foreign invader. Oh my god, I misread that so bad.
What did you read?
Instead of in the face of this core,
Uh-huh.
I read a different four-letter word that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
A different four-letter word that also starts with F?
A different four-letter word that still has A and C in the middle, but a different first and last letter. In the taco of the score.
I can see how you'd see taco.
In the taco of the core, you know, which is we have a taco. Saber's core is a taco. It's great. My own consciousness is barely a mote of dust to disturb its function, or a piece of wood to feed its fire, or a taco.
I mean, to be fair, I have had people describe when they're trying to explain their sexual preferences to people that they prefer taco over hot dog, so...
I mean, I feel like there is a majority of the population that agrees.
Let's see.
Yes. A way to feed the fire. It's a taco. Yes. Been over this. Dots. I gulp. even though I have no throat to swallow with. Why would you need to swallow? Is Merlin involved again? I take in the entire scene. These are Saber's magic circuits. They look suspiciously like Stonehenge for some
I was
reason.
about to say, it looks oddly like Stonehenge.
A heart beyond anything human, so different from ours, which we imagine as lines and circuits. This is a reactor core. Yes! If a mage's body is a machine for creating magical energy, then what I'm seeing now is an entire factory. Yes, Saber does have a magical reactor core, true story, but the core is inactive. The key that should activate the core, the spark of the power to bring the whole thing to life, has been cut off. No, she lost the Allspark? Optimus! We need a new Allspark! Despite the overwhelming ability this core has to produce massive amounts of magical energy, it lacks the initial charge to activate itself. It floats overhead. The charge to activate it?
You know, I know you had a Transformers phase as a kid, because I witnessed part of the Transformers phase, but it's still weird hearing you reference the Allspark and Optimus Prime.
I mean, it was on Toonami or whatever, so I think everybody had a Transformers phase just by proxy of Toonami.
Well, yeah.
Although that said, Beast Wars is still a travesty. But Armada was good. I liked Armada quite a bit. A stagnant sea of fuel. No matter how much undiluted magical energy fills this endless space, it's useless. It needs to ignite. Even a tiny spark could do the trick. So long as the pathway for magical energy is connected, the core will roar back to life. Yes, Armada was great. Yes, thank you. And to do that, something beyond human knowledge awakens.
Because then...
Pathways running over the lake of magical energy begin to swirl. I might have misread lake as a different 5-letter word starting with L-A, involving the sexes.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Red air explodes upwards in a raging pillar. Is this what it is like to stand in a thundercloud? There was a giant walking freaking robot. It's amazing. Exactly. Hey look, it's a giant CGI dragon. So intense is the roar of the raging waves that I don't even properly hear it. This is why Artoria was basically a walking, breathing ley line when she was alive, because Merlin gave her a dragon core upon conception. Another name for ley lines being dragon's meridians. Yeah. The same way something too massive can't be properly seen, the roar is its own kind of silence to me. Huh? What appears at the heart of that blazing core is the embodiment of every threat mankind carries in their hearts. Inside of everyone are two wolves, except for Artoria, because the literal dragon inside of her ate them both. It has been said that the king is a red dragon that symbolizes Britain. Phantasmal blood runs in their human veins, the child of a sacred star.
I read Scattered Star, and I was like, what the...
Yo, that does look sick as hell, though.
Here, I'll do you a favor.
The only thing that looks kind of doofy about it is the the glowing eyes, just like, hello.
No, the glowing eyes don't upset me, but the wing that's on our left looks like it's broken.
Maybe it is. Oh, Parallax, a dragon, a ruler, the symbol of so many phantasmal species, objects of both awe and fear.
I read object both aware and fear.
Well, objects are aware and fearful of dragons, so these things are kind of melting in general if you didn't know. No, I noticed.
No, I noticed.
The pinnacle of all beasts, appearing at times as a demon, at times as a god. This is what lies in Saber's subconscious. Its otherworldly form suits the servant said to be the best. Hello, Merlin. Suddenly John Hurt just cuts in and is like, Merlin, you have to go save Arthur. He's being an idiot again. The cauldron opens. Vicious fangs are all I see.
Also, could you please not let Uther use Excalibur
Again. There can be no resistance. Do you know, because I didn't realize this until Dad and I were watching through the entirety of Doctor Who. New Who, anyway. That before Merlin, the guy from Merlin, who played Merlin, was in a single episode of Doctor Who.
Really?
10th Doctor's time.
During Tennant's reign?
Yeah. It was in an episode where they almost threw Tennant out of an airlock.
Well, that...
Well, not actually an airlock, but a bus into a desert that would have killed him immediately. But yeah, no. He was in an episode of Doctor Who.
Huh.
Like, a year or two before he started playing Merlin. And as soon as he showed up on screen, I'm like, wait, that's the Merlin guy. Hold on.
Well, it's just like anytime I see the actor who played Arthur in anything, I'm like, yes! Come here! He is. Both the actor who played Merlin and the actor who played Arthur are very pretty to look at. But the actress who played Morrigan, or Morgana, I think actually ended up marrying the actor who played Merlin.
I could see that. Also, yeah, dragons, and by that we mean real dragons, are kind of some of the most powerful things in existence in the Fateverse. So, you know.
Hang on, I'm Googling this to make sure I didn't give you bad information.
Meanwhile, humans, which paled to insignificance before the giant angry Dargo, could never defend against it, because of how big and angry it is. It's also why Melusine is so ridiculously busted, since Albion is the dragon that all others pale in comparison to. Yeah. No human intelligence could ever conceive of a way to escape. It must be famished, the dragon. It devours its prey, which would normally seem as inconsequential as motes of dust with bloodshot eyes. Wait, no, sorry. With its bloodshot eye. It devours its prey with its bloodshot eyes. It ate somebody with its eyes, Willow. And I am at a complete loss for words. Also, Shiro getting impaled is on screen at the moment. So that's fun. When you have people like Siegfried who killed a dragon-ass dragon, that means that people like that are on another level compared to most others in comparison. Like George, like St. George, who also killed a dragon-ass dragon.
Okay. No, I'm misremembering on that, but I do actually remember who, I do know who she's married to. J.J. Abrams.
That is so sideways, I could not possibly.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams.
Really?
Yep.
But she was married to J.J. Abrams at the time she was on the show.
Uh-huh.
This is 1996.
Uh-huh.
She wasn't that old when she was on the show. How the fuck old was she when she married J.J. Abrams? Like 9? What the fuck?
Early life. It does not give me a year of birth on her Wikipedia page. Okay, well, back to other things.
Like Shiro being impaled by all these spikes. After a dragon ate him with its eye. Oh, fuck you guys. I wonder, in red text I can barely read, why do we not eat living meals?
Presumably because it's just uncomfortable having something squirm while it goes down your throat?
It's obvious. We cannot bear to see our food alive. We prefer fresh food, but rarely do we eat anything alive because we feel it's cruel for our food to suffer. Oh no, Shiro fell into the toothpaste factory. In other words, killing the meat we consume before we eat it is our way of preserving its dignity. A scream of rage tears its way from my throat. I forget who I am, and I roar like a beast. It's
Weird
symbolic.
A weird moment to be coming, Shiro.
I tried-
Just saying.
I try to appeal to the beast. The hatred builds within me. My only resistance is bearing my emotions. I beg for mercy like a crucified sinner as I'm ground to meal.
There are so many comments I want to make about that.
Meanwhile, Shiro is ridiculously livid while being eaten by a dragon-ass dragon.
So many comments I want to make about that statement, but
I mean, they didn't typically grind crucified sinners to meal.
There's just the problem is I am consciously aware at all times that students who know that I do stuff on the internet are constantly trying to locate videos with me in them. And I have to try and be cognizant of that, so I can't say what I'm thinking.
Sure didn't wake up today just get eaten by a fucking dragon, goddammit. Well, it was either that or get cut in half by Berserker again, so my consciousness grows hazy, muddled. Every purpose and meaning in my life falls away. Any hope of retaining my sanity is as long gone as creation itself. The pain, the pressure, they're far, far too much. And then, when I came to see it only as a monster, is what I think that says.
I think that's what it said.
Even once I'd learned of this hell, I believed I could endure it. The image of Saber, her head hanging low, comes back to me. I recall the meaning of this pain. The meaning drives me forward. It's a literal painful reminder of what I came here to do. I draw in a deep breath and let go of my resistance. It's not the dragon's fangs I should be fighting, but the pain twisting through me. I'm not here to run from the pain. Meanwhile, if Shiro had been... If Shiki had been here, he'd have been dead minutes ago by now without even having the courtesy to describe any of his horrific torture. Like a chump. Yeah, what a loser, right? I'm here to save her pain. To live up to the trust she's placed in me time and time again. Which is when exactly?
Yeah.
And so, I'm here to give her the best thing that I, who has no hope of fighting, can give. The pain is indescribable. I can't reach out to ground to... Sorry. What you guys have to understand is this is very difficult to read. I can't reach out to my ground down consciousness. I hone my... God damn it, you're making it worse.
I'm not doing
I know,
anything.
I'm not you, them. I hone my awareness like a blade, silently, as if I were asleep. Here, eternity is but an instant.
See, my peaceful mountain lions aren't as bad now, are they?
As long as I can endure this pain, even for an instant, my consciousness will remain. Alright, then... I won't let myself feel an ounce of fear. I thought that said her at first.
Is that word really ounce?
Yes.
I just read it as curse.
It could also be...
That's the word my brain sees as curse.
It could also be ooh, it could be 4 O's in a row and then an E, possibly.
Are you sure it doesn't say curse?
Yes. That wouldn't make sense. To feel an cursive fear? That's not how English. I shall...
Because this game's done great at English.
I shall
the entire
dedicate
time.
the pain to you, who will be the one to fight. Shiro, Artoria didn't trust your decision-making, even when you unarguably were making legitimately good plans that were better than her own. What trust are you even referring to? Yeah, I know, right? Creator of the VN was on something, thinking that having this text on white background was a good idea. I know they love doing it too. Fucking Mahoyo and Tsukihime do that same shit.
That's what half of Reen's prologue was white on white.
Yeah. The pain instantly fades. The red dragon is gone and my consciousness gradually floats back to the surface. Am I weightless because I lost something? As if I'm floating back to the water's surface, I feel myself begin rising up above the reactor.
I read Recolor, so you're doing better than I am.
But wait! There's something I want to check before... It's so warm. A dull, throbbing hum issues from the reactor as it burns with golden light. That's not a reactor, that's a fucking, like, potion flask.
No, it's a Stonehenge with a beaker that's on fire.
The elaborate magic circuits shine with a rainbow hue and begin their circulation.
That's not a rainbow!
Shiro thinks yellow is a rainbow? The fire is lit. Shiro just thinks fire is really cool. Man, that fire is lit. Stop trying to be one of the kids, Shiro. You're not the youth. I may be an untrained amateur of a mage, but today I've filled my role as her lord.
So misogynistic. Get over yourself. You lasted half a second.
Shiro, what the hell happened to your viewable range of colors after the dragon skewered you a billion times? I surrender my body to the wind and float upward. Back towards my nicely folded shirt. I catch a glimpse of a distant memory. A figure holding a sword and a figure standing in a grassy field as it dances in the wind. The grassy field is dancing in the wind?
That is what that sentence implies.
Which one did I find reminiscent? And how was that grassy field dancing? Meanwhile, back in reality, I feel sunlight on my eyelids and slowly open them. Dazed and confused, I check over my own body. My arms and legs are fine. I don't see any wounds. Maybe the pain faded the moment I was able to endure it. My physical wounds and even the mental scars seem to have been healed.
Shiro.
I hear a weak voice from under me. The feeling of her soft skin immediately makes me realize who's speaking and the position we're in. Saber is lying on the bed with her blouse in disarray while Tosaka is sleeping, cradling her knees to her chest. Tosaka may be fine, but Saber's been under me like this the whole time.
Ohayo, Saber.
I guess if one were feeling poetic, they could describe grass swaying in the wind as dancing, like people sometimes do with trees. Yeah, but trees actually can dance if they're ants.
Ohayo gozaimasu, Shiro.
And even then, if you're talking about something like, oh, say, for instance, a willow tree or a cherry blossom tree, where the branches tend to be thinner, wind can blow them significantly enough that it does actually look like the branches are dancing. Whereas I don't care how hard the wind is blowing. If you're actually mowing your lawn, no one's going to describe your grass as dancing in the wind.
Well, no, it's getting murdered in the wind. We exchange awkward pleasantries. Saber slowly gets up and rearranges her blouse. Ah, crap. We're so embarrassed we can't look each other in the eye. Where's my shirt? Where's my nicely folded shirt go? She seems to be back to her normal self. When I carried her here last night, she was so weak it seemed she might disappear at any moment, but that weakness is gone now.
はい。ですからその服を着ていただけませんか、シロ。その格好のままだと私もなぜか話しづらい。
I look down at myself.
そうか、そうだよな。
When did my pants come off? I hastily reached for my neatly folded shirt. It came back! The neatly folded shirt, it came back, you guys. It was folded so immaculately, and now it's not going to be anymore, goddammit. Alright, guys, so now that you're done definitely not doing anything untoward, can I remind you of the raging meat tank you're still presently running from? Never mind that bio. We have a neatly folded shirt.
I love when the game calls back out to the tiny, insignificant detail we glom onto. Because clearly, that just validates that we were right to decide that was the important
that was
thing.
the thing of importance. That was nice of Tosaka to fold it up. You folded it!
You asshole!
Wait,
Oh.
no, I did that!
I love that while I was busy expressing my outrage,
So was I!
Dave acknowledged that Shiro's just a dumbass.
Wait, no, that wasn't Reen, that was me! I am the one that folded the shirt so nicely. Me, expert shirt folder, Shiro Emiya. Maybe Berserker wouldn't be so berserk if someone would just give him a quadruple XL size shirt to wear. It's cold up here in the mountains this time of year. Why did I fold it so tight? I vividly recall last night's ritual. I connected with Saber and Tosaka transplanted my magic circuits deep within her. Saber looks like she's back to normal, but what happened to me? Tosaka warned that my body and mind might not be able to handle the loss of magic circuits, but I don't feel much damage, nor any huge sense of loss. I was a little scared, but I checked on my magic circuits myself. The idea of seeing for myself just how much I've lost is terrifying, but we're heading into battle against Berserker, so I need to understand my own condition. Even Shiro has no fucking idea why he folded so hard on folding that, focused so hard on folding that shirt. I don't know how to explain it. The overall function of my magic circuits feels sluggish, but there doesn't seem to be any obvious damage. I was chewed to pieces, but my magic circuits are still intact. Yeah, because it would have been really weird if they weren't for the rest of the route when you still needed those. Looks like I'd be able to do my strengthening magecraft. I assume the magic circuits I rarely use were the ones Tosaka took. I only activate about 1 to 4 circuits when I do strengthening, since I can't do large-scale magecraft anyway. I've never fully activated all of them. So she transplanted the circuits I don't use to Saber.
Shiro.
I close my eyes to assess my situation. It seems this won't affect my strengthening magecraft. But this sluggishness, like I'm wading through water, is because my capacity for magecraft is decreased. In exchange, though, I feel that I'm connected to something important deep inside myself. Shiro, did you already forget Archer having told you just a few hours ago that strengthening isn't the kind of magecraft you should be doing? He was busy folding shirts! Can't tell exactly where it's coming from, but there's a faint line that connects me and Saber. I've gained...
Sorry.
申し訳ありません、シロ。
Where's is this the button? This is the button.
Something truly important in exchange for my lost circuits.
申し訳ありません、シロ。
Uh-huh. Saber speaks up from somewhere behind me.
シロの回路を得る際に必要最小限にとどめるよう努力はしました。ですが、その最低限の量ですら人から得るには多すぎた。もしやシロに消せない傷跡を残してしまったかと思うと、謝罪の言葉も見当たりません。これは私の不覚です。私が書くも力足らずでなければ。
そんなことはない。セイバーは謝らなくていいんだ。そもそもの原因は俺が魔力の供給をできないでいてセイバーに迷惑をかけていたからだろ。
Maybe if I had been such a fucking
そ
failure
れ
to
も
begin
これ
with.
で解決した。これからはちゃんと魔力の供給ができる。ああ、こ れで本当に胸を張ってセイバーのマスターだって口にできる。
ですがシロ、
俺の魔術回路のことは気にしなくていいよ。どうせ使わないものみたいだし、むしろない方がスッキリする。
Saber's expression remains clouded. Ah, crap. I never know what to say at times like this. Saber's recovered, and I survived even after the loss of some of my magic circuits. Saber's magic circuits, the dream of light and wind and Saber in her youth. And on top of that, we spent the night touching, skin to skin. Calm down. Calm down. Nicely folded shirt. It was a ritual for our survival. I need to calm my mind. If I don't focus, I could mess up my nicely folded shirt.
During battle.
Yeah. Would hate to do that. The sleepy rhythm of Tosaka's breathing halts, and she grunts. Looks like Tosaka's awake too.
おはようございます、リン。
Shiro, you're thinking about swords
Yo,
again. You're
Tosaka.
supposed to be thinking about
Ohayo.
shirts right now. I see Tosaka's hair shift, and then her head tilts up. She's not a morning person at all, and doesn't look her usual sharp self. At all.
サンキュー、トサカ。ちゃんと成功したぞ。
はい。私の魔力の補充はできました。ですが
いや、なくなったのは3割ぐらいだと思うから大丈夫。これくらいならなんとか。
3割ですか。なんとか最初にとどめたというのに、それでも3割とは。我がことながら、なんと強欲な。
強欲か。そうだな。腹ペコだったにしても、もう少し行儀よくしてほしかったな。
Osaka joining us helps dispel the awkwardness between Saber and me. Now we're back to normal.
そう、じゃあ、いいわね。
Tosaka yawns and gets to her feet. We've got a berserker to kill. It's almost time for the battle. It was scheduled for like 9:30 this morning. Somewhere in that forest, Berserker and Iliasfeel await. It's weird using her full name. If we don't defeat that hurricane of death, everything we did last night was for nothing, and Archer will have died for nothing.
Yes, Willow knows about mana transfers now.
Hooray, mana transfers. The connection that was created between me and Saber, deep in our hearts.
Well, I'm glad it was deep in your hearts, because by the sound of it, it wasn't exactly deep in her.
Ain't no way Ilya doesn't know where they are. You can't convince me. To protect what we created, we'll have to defeat the most powerful enemy of all. Self-loathing. Wait, no. Hercules. Interlude! Never mind that. We have to go watch a cool thing. 11-1. Fate. Their battle comes to an end. The two fought fiercely, and it ended with the disappearance of the Red Knight. Bye, Archer. Now a shadow of its former glory, the reception room is in ruin. Look what Archer did to her front hall.
Mm-hmm.
The floors are cracked and broken. Many of its walls have been knocked down. The stairs have collapsed and the broken marble is scattered across the floor. There's hardly a trace of the reception room's original form. Some might even say time itself had been stolen from this space. After such vast destruction, the scene bears no resemblance to what it was just 2 hours ago. Archer lasted 2 hours!
Which is impressive, given the last time that Artoria fought Berserker, she lasted 2 minutes.
Alright, great. So you two done now, right? All back to normal? Yes? Good! Then let's get a move on. Why do we need to hurry again? Rectangles in the distance. Yeah, that's why. Yep. Hate to be the one to clean this up. Yeah, they do have magic for that. It's fine. And Sella and Liesred. A sculpture, well suited to such devastation, stands in the middle of it all. Standing over 2 meters tall, it bears the crude likeness of a man, as if roughly hacked out of stone. It hardly bears mentioning. This is Iliasvil's servant, Berserker. The giant doesn't move. Its entire body is splattered with red, with several holes torn through it. Not a single inch of the giant's body isn't wounded. 1. Both legs appear on the verge of collapse. 2. A massive gash on the neck. 3. Arms practically hanging off the elbows. 4. Something has pierced it from shoulder to groin. 5. Blood gushes from its chest. 6. Its belly is torn open. Berserker is not moving. He will. It's clearly a corpse. The battle itself lasted less than an hour. The result, unexpected. Berserker's master is beside herself. She should be picking off what remained of her prey, but instead she just stands there, staring at the devastation.
信じられない。何だったのよ、あいつ。
Yeah, Archer's a fucking boss. Like, for as weak and shit as his stats are, dude fucking, like, stood his own against Heracles for a while. I mean, he lost, but goddamn. Her voice is a low mumble now.
Sounds like he may have taken out a life, though. Or a few.
Several, in fact. We counted them just a moment ago. 6, I believe. Keep in mind, as far as everyone here in Universe is concerned, Archer's just some nameless nobody compared to basically any other servant, and he managed this to fucking Heracles. The battle came as a humiliation to her. Her servant is the most powerful. Among all heroic spirits, maybe 1 or 2 can compete with Heracles, the most renowned hero of, all time. And yet, some unknown archer defeated him. The Red Knight fought on equal ground with Berserker, and in the end even killed Berserker, which nobody else had even thought possible. And for that, he can never be forgiven. To Ilia, it's as if she's just been stabbed in the heart by a passing insect with a knife. She prided herself on being the strongest master. For her to lose to the sort she should have so casually trampled must be unthinkable.
ああ、もう頭にくる。あんなやつに6回もやられるなんて。
Yeah,
手を抜いてたんじゃないでしょうね、ばあさん。
times. The statue doesn't answer. It has neither the time nor the need to do so. Nerfed or not, Heracles is still Heracles. You need to be one of the hugest chads to even put a dent in him, and Archer put an unthinkable amount of dents in the big fucker. Yep. Berserker stands still, focusing on healing himself. Even for him, this was an unusual battle. His noble phantasm nullifies any attack. So long as the attack is not of the highest possible class, it won't so much as scratch him. As such, he rarely sustained any wound. In his own time, none could harm him after he attained greatness. But here, now, he's been hurt 6 times. Archer delivered 6 fatal blows. Each of his attacks was of a different sort. That's because even the strongest attacks won't work twice on Berserker. Strange as this battle was, the most truly bizarre part was... if Archer was a hero with so many different abilities, his identity should have been obvious. But even after his body was pulverized, Archer's identity remained a mystery. What was really surprising was how he carried himself in a way that seemed contradictory as a servant. A faint light flickers in the pupils of Berserker's eyes. Were Berserker a normal, rational servant, he would probably feel pretty bad about how this battle went. Whatever his identity might have been, Archer was a rare and formidable adversary. If only Berserker's sanity hadn't been taken from him, he would have fought to his heart's content, and maybe even enjoyed himself.
許さない。許さないんだから。よくもここまで私を侮辱してくれたわね。
Oh, Ilya's upset.
Ilya's voice echoes in the shattered hall. Whatever tiny embers of rationality might have been returning to him are immediately snuffed out by her voice. He's just Berserker now. His role is to overwhelm and annihilate his master's enemies.
傷は治ったの？まさか。
Berserker doesn't need to answer. So long as the wound doesn't kill him, he'll heal in moments. But to completely recover from this would take as much as 3 days.
そんなに待てない。もういいわ。今すぐあいつらを殺しに行くわよ。
The giant silently objects. It's almost instinctive. At least when it comes to a fight, Berserker has instincts similar to Saber's. He can certainly destroy his enemy easily enough. But if Saber is recovered enough that she can use her noble phantasm, that'll be a different story. Berserker will not fall to a mere sacred sword, but there's always that small chance of something going wrong. His instincts tell him that he should be completely prepared before facing this servant.
何よ。5つもあれば十分じゃない。あんな奴ら、ゴッドハンドなんかなくたって敵じゃないもの。それとも何？ここまで私たちをバカにした奴らを見逃してやるっていうの？バーサーカー。そうでしょ？誰一人として私の森からは逃がさないわ。うん。リンとセーバーはバーサーカーにあげるね。殺すなりもてあそぶなり好きにしていいわ。
Ilya hops down from the stairs. She walks through the rubble to the exit without a moment's concern for Berserker, bloodied as he is. But then! She stops, as if remembering something.
さあ、狩りを始めましょう、バーサーカー。だけど、セイバーのマスターは簡単に殺しちゃダメだよ。シローには一番ひどい死に方をさせてあげるんだから。
Ilya heads out of the castle, giggling happily. The sun is about to rise. Ilya knows the forest like the back of her hand. She won't have any trouble finding her prey, even if they try to hide. Her targets have only minutes to live. Interlude out. I don't remember if that gets revealed this route or not.
I assume it has something to do with Kiritsugu.
And I don't know why, but I'm forced out of the ruins. Tosaka kicks me out, saying that girls have to make some adjustments and changing and stuff like that.
くそ、何言ってんだ。男だっていろいろある。
Well, Rin doesn't want the last set of clothes she has for Saber getting destroyed, so presumably Saber has to get naked, then turn into her armor. I lean against a wall as I grumble. I guess I sound like a sore loser, and that's kind of exactly it. I remember, and then I try to shake off my desires. I can't think about that right now. If I keep lingering on my memories with Saber, I'm a dead man. More than anything, it would be rude to Saber.
Depends. Some women would consider that a compliment.
I made contact with Saber to save her. Contact. I shouldn't have any other feelings for Saber. What a crook. It's such a pathetic excuse, even I don't believe it. I can't forget what happened with Saber. But I need to, for now. Honestly, I don't have the time to worry about that kind of stuff. Our concern right now is how to fight Berserker.
No, Shiro, your chief concern should be getting her sugar. Ideally chocolate. Maybe some
そう言ってた
flowers.
じゃないか。
I think back to Archer. I never warmed up to him, but every word he said stuck with me. I stare at a tree branch. There's only so much I can do with a tree branch. I may not be able to help, but I'm going to do whatever I can as best I can. So I fold my shirt. For starters, I snap off a nearby tree branch. Fuck you, tree branch! Then I try to find other straight branches.
シロ終わったから入ってきて。
It's a really big how to ask it, that, Shira. Maybe you should have thought about that problem a bit more instead of how nicely you folded your shirt. Osaka's voice reaches me in my search. I head back to the ruins, carrying the branches I collected. Well, the only other problem is, whether I can act anything approaching normal around Saber after looking into her heart, however briefly.
こちらです、シロ。リンから話があるそうで
Why
す。
are you not in your armor? You know we're gonna be fighting Berserker. I guess I was worrying over nothing. Saber's her usual self. Unlike me, immature as I am, she's probably just approaching this pragmatically.
ああ、今行く。
Ah, damn. I'm not gonna let this get me down. I have sticks now. I can make them pointed sticks. I'm so damn dumb being the only one blushing over this, so I'm gonna do my best to keep my composure.
来たわね。それじゃあ作戦会議を始めるけど、会議って言っても口論し合う暇はないわ。
Pretty sure Ilya just knows where everyone inside of the house's barrier is at all times anyway, so the loud branch snapping sound probably doesn't matter. Probably. I mean, she does know the forest like the back of her hand, so...
Besides, Rin shouting Shiro's name would probably objectively do more harm than a branch snapping.
バーサーカーを倒す方法も限られているし、とりあえず私の話を聞いてもらえる？
Saber and I nod.
作戦としては単純よ。まともな方法じゃバーサーカーとは勝負にならない。勝つためには奇襲。仕掛けたのなら反撃させずに一撃で首を落とすのが絶対条件だと思う。同感です。バーサーカーと打ち合ったところであれには致命傷を与えられません。倒すのならば打ち合いの外から消すべきでしょう。
打ち合いの外からって、バーサーカーが俺たちに気づく前に先回りして襲うってことか。そりゃあいつと正面から戦うのは無謀だけど、そっちの方はもっと無謀だ。あいつが奇襲なんてさせる球か。
ええ、バーサーカーに気づかれずに近寄るなんて都合のいい作戦はやらないわよ。あっちにはイリアスフィールがいるんだもの。少なくともセイバーとシローの気配は簡単に感知されるわ。私は気配を隠せるから大丈夫だけど。
Yeah, these guys don't know how Berserker works yet, no. I don't understand the logic, but I get the sense Ilya can detect me and Saber. And if Tosaka's the only one who can conceal herself...
まさか奇襲をするのは遠坂だって言うんじゃないだろうな。
当然でしょ。一番に狙われてるのは四郎なんだし、この中で一番動きやすいのは私だもの。隙をついて後ろからバッサリやるのは任せなさい。
Especially given presumably you know you're cursed, Rain.
What if we just, like, I don't know, summoned a heroic spirit into Reen's body and just let Ishtar do all the work? I mean, we'd have to pay her an exorbitant amount of money, but, you know. Reen did bring all her gems with her, so there's that.
後ろからバッサリってバーサーカーがそんな甘いわけないだろう。
そりゃそうよ。だからセイバーに隙を作ってもらうの。セイバー、体はどのくらい回復した？通常戦闘ならば問題はありません。ですが、宝具の使用は避けるべきです。今のマルクでは、おそらく使った瞬間に体を維持できなくなる。たとえ使ったとしても純度は落ちていますから、バーサーカーを倒せるとは思えません。ええ、それで十分よ。セイバーにはバーサーカーと打ち合ってもらうわ。もちろん、シロも一緒。
The gems were already in Reen's pocket, then that means they would already be Ishtar's property as soon as she's summoned, so they wouldn't really work that well as bargaining chip. Yeah,
私は
fair.
隠れて様子を見る。イリアスフィールから見れば私はおまけみたいなものだし、いなければ二人を見捨てて逃げたとか思うんじゃないかしら。はあ、それはまあ可能性はなくはありませんが。可能性が低いならあげて。シロはイリアスフィールと仲がいいみたいだし、うまく話せば騙せるんじゃない？
Osaka looks at me meaningfully.
反論はあるけど引き受けた。遠坂は逃げたって言えばイリアはまず信じるよ。あの子は人の言葉を疑わないと思う。
だとしても問題はあります。私がバーサーカーと対峙するのはいい。ですが、シローに同じことはさせられません。シローではバーサーカーの一撃に耐えられない。誰もシローに殴り合えなんて言ってないわ。シローはセイバーから離れて後方支援。セイバーだけじゃバーサーカーを押し切るのは難しいから、危なくなったら助けてあげて。バカな。シローはリンのように魔術に長けてはいない。援護と言っても何を。それはシローが考えて。
That sounds like a him problem.
Yes.
もっともバーサーカー相手
Not my
だと
problem.
マスターが介入する余裕なんてないわ。シローだけじゃなくて私だって手を出せばセイバーの足を引っ張るもの。それでも一人だって遊ばせる余裕はないの。シローが殺されればセイバーもおしまいっていうのは分かってるけど、ここはそうしてもらうわ。初めから賭け事みたいな戦いなんだから。それはそうですが。
Saber makes a face and falls silent. Since Tosaka's gone quiet too, she must understand how reckless her proposal is. Can't blame them for being worried. The night I met Saber, the night Berserker attacked, the only thing I managed to use to defend her was my own body. There's a strong possibility that we're headed towards a repeat of what happened that night. So while it may be best for me to distance myself from the battlefield, I'm not gonna do so unless they force me to.
分かってる。遠くからの援護は何とかしよう。
Was it really that much of a surprise?
Yeah, neither of them believe you.
離れたとこ
Shocker.
ろからセイバーを援護すればいいんだろ。それなら何とかなると思う。
I grabbed the tree branches I gathered earlier as I say that. just the right length and exactly the right kind of flexibility. This is the first time I've done this kind of strengthening,
Bow and arrow?
but I don't think I'm wrong in principle here. Basically, I just need to layer my strengthening until it turns into something substantial. Besides, he had something like this, so I can use it as reference. On top of that, magical energy's been flowing through my body for a while now. All I have to do is repeat my usual process. I analyze its basic structure and change it.
Wait. Is this meant to be the actual, like, the hint at him being Archer, or Archer being him, rather? Is that he's literally just creating Archer's bow just from, like, a random fucking branch he snaps off a tree?
Shiro just copies shit that he sees other people do. He's just one big faker. I analyze the material's composition and reinforce it.
Holden Caulfield would hate him.
Starting from the branch, my result should be his bow, but something's missing. I need to think of this from the standpoint of creation. If I want to make something as close as possible to the real thing, I need to envision everything I can about it, down to the smallest detail. Shiro's entire fighting style is Kakashi. He
Okay.
just steals other people's shit.
Fair, but isn't that going to be, like, super, uber, mega ineffective against Berserker if the same thing doesn't work on him twice?
They don't know that, is the problem.
Ah, so this is more Willow being good at predicting plot points. Understood.
I opened my eyes. The warped branch was the right shape, but something wasn't...
うわ似ても似つかね
It's ugly, distorted. And yet I can tell it'll work fine as a bow. Now I just have to create an arrow following the same concept.
Shiro, 今の
えああシンジとの一件でなんとなくコツが分かった遠坂も言ってただろ力みすぎるなって。
そうまあ手段ができたのはいいことだし今はいいわ。話を戻すけどとにかく2人にはバーサーカーと戦ってもらう。私はあらかじめ木に登って上から様子を観察してるから。でセイバーがなんとかバーサーカーに隙を作ったら死角である頭上からとっておきの宝石を使い切ってバーサーカーを串刺しにする。作戦としてはそれだけの単純なものだけど。
So what you're saying is you'll hit him with a single very powerful attack. Congratulations, that might kill him. Once. Osaka turns her attention to us, checking whether we have any questions.
宝石というのは輪の魔術ですか？
Oh yeah, Shiro's style of combat is basically what Shez does. Sees cool technique, decides cool technique is cool, steals cool technique to use it as their own fighting style because it was cool. You know, just Shez things. Makes... Can just make stuff out of nothing. You know, just Shez things. That was what Archer did. He just kept getting more swords out of nowhere, just like Shez. Shez lets go of her sword, gets a new sword.
だとしても生半可な魔術ではバーサーカーの体には届きません。彼を傷つけるには最大純度の攻撃でなければならないのですから。
I mean, you may have noticed Shez was even dual-wielding swords. It's almost like Shez was a giant archer reference.
要するに A 判定の攻撃でないとダメなんでしょ？
You're saying we an attack. That's at least A rank.
You're saying we an attack that's at least A rank?
I think that's meant to be we need an attack.
No, we an attack. We, collectively, an attack. We an attack.
No.
You, me, Shiro, an attack. A rank. The three of us.
We an attack. You know what? No, I think they just used the wrong we. You're saying we and attack.
She has definitely died like a dumbass about as much on average as Shiro does, that's for sure. See, there you go. We an attack though. The three of us. We an attack. As she says this, Tosaka pulls several jewels from her pocket? What pocket? She's wearing a skirt.
Some skirts have pockets, but it's super not common, and in a pleated skirt like that, you'd absolutely see the seam for the pocket.
What pocket, Reen?
Maybe her sweater has a pocket?
I don't see a. Do you see a pocket? I don't see a pocket.
No, I don't see.
Do you have a boob
I
pocket?
was about to say boob pocket. Gotta be boob
Gotta
pocket.
be boob pocket. She has no pockets.
その宝石は
Either that or she had jewels shoved up her snatch. One of the two.
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past her in to have a, like, jewel-encrusted hoo-ha.
Yeah.
Just saying.
True story.
私が物心ついた時からために貯めた貯金みたいなものよ。これ一つで A 判定の大魔術を即座に発生させられる。10個あったんだけどね。一つはあなたに使っちゃったわ。そうか。あの時の魔術ならば確かにバーサーカーは防げない。彼には私のような大魔力はありません。魔術であってもそれが A 判定ならば問題なく貫通する。そういうことよ。本当は小出ししていこうと思ったけど悠長なことは言ってられないわ。バーサーカーには特別に2つか3つは叩き込んでやるんだから。
Reen probably put the pockets onto the skirt herself since she simply refuses to wear more practical clothing for her mage battle nonsense. Yeah, but where is she hiding the pockets?
Okay, so after definitely overthinking Reen's outfit, it is possible because the sweater is on the baggier side around the waist and front that maybe she's just hiding a belt with a bunch of pouches.
She's wearing like a fanny
underneath.
pack under her.
Like there's a distinct possibility she just has under sweater pouches.
Tosaka puffs out her chest confidently. See how confident I am in my chest? However,
おい、なんか半端にせこくないか、お前。
同感
You
です。
do?
私が言えることではありませんが、せめて半分使い切るぐらいの気前の良さが必要だと思うのですが。何よ、そんなの人の勝手でしょ。あなたたちね、私がどれほど苦労してここまで貯めたって思ってるのよ。
Saber and I protest silently. Tosaka's life depends on this operation too. We can't let ourselves fail just because she's being stingy.
She's not being stingy. There are still several other servants you're gonna have to fight if you get out of this fight alive.
Not her though, she can just go hang out at the church with Kotomine.
That's fair.
わかったわよ。半分使えばいいんでしょ、使えば。何よ、言ってみただけじゃない。私だってそれくらいわかってるんだから。とにかく作戦はそれだけよ。あとは私が隠れられて、シローがセイバーの援護をしやすい場所を探さなくちゃ。イリアスフィールが来る前にいい場所を見つけましょう。
Yeah, we can't stay in these ruins anymore. And like Tosaka said, we need to find a place where we can all lie in wait for Berserker. But before that... Oh. Save time.
Obviously, Tosaka.
I hope I'm wrong, but... Tosaka won't be stingy about her gems, will she?
ちょい待ち。繰り返すけど、本当に出し惜しみはなしだぞ、登坂。そりゃ、宝石は高価なものだけど、お前の命には変えられないんだから。
Gotta love those Reen points.
うちの財政を知らないからそんな無責任なことが言えるのよ。シロだってこれ一つがどのくらいするか知ったら腰が抜けるに決まってるんだから。
金の話で腰なんか抜けるか。 いいぜ。そこまで言うなら責任持ってやる。使った分の宝石、俺と遠坂で折半にすればいいんだろう。
本当？男に二言はない？
Oh, how in debt are you about to go to Shiro?
Yes is the answer.
ない。俺だって少しは貯金あるし、足りなかったら稼いで返す。遠坂が溜め込んだ武器を使ってもらうわけだし、俺だって少しは誠意見せないとな。
Okay, I might be making this offer out of pride. I guess I want Tosaka to see me in a positive light, no matter what.
なんだよ。口元いびつにねじ曲がってるぞ。
Alright, I'll use 2 gems. 3 gems? What do you do want from me? We are all literally going to die here, Tosaka. Can you try a bit harder? I'd rather die than be poor. Yeah.
ええ、嬉しいのは本当だし、楽しみができたのも本当だから。ところでエミヤくん、この宝石一つどれくらいするのか聞かなくていいのかしら？
まあ10万円ぐらいなんてことはないよ
な。ないわね。使い捨ての宝石ならそれぐらいでいいんだけど。
じゃあ20万円ぐらいとか。
半端な上がり方ね。でもないわよ。
じゃあ25万円じゃないかと。
Your scaling is way off,
普
bud.
通こういう時って次の桁に移行しない？
You know what you usually do when you're guessing prices? You add zeros.
なんでいつまでも6の桁から上に行かないのよ。
言いたくないけど30万。
That's not zeros!
だからなんで7桁に行かないの？
もしかして100万円ですか？
Closer.
The ground is falling away at my feet.
近い。もう一桁。
And I'm about to fall right into the bowels of hell itself. That's astronomical. I've never heard a number so devastating before. If I were to turn that number into points of damage, I could beat any video game boss in a heartbeat. I disagree. I've played Borderlands 2.
エミヤくん。
Yeah.
いや大丈夫。ちゃんと計算ぐらいできる。
Oh, I can calculate alright. And it's hurting more than math ever should.
そう？じゃあ一応聞いておくけど、宝石使っていいのよね。出し惜しみなしで清々しいぐらい派手にやるわよ、私。
I fight back the desire to tell Tosaka to use them sparingly.
遠坂、借金いいかな？
Literally forever.
Nice of Rain to remind everyone that the style of Magecraft her family uses is actually inefficient as all hell and kinda just sucks for the most part. Yep! And it's the dollar store off-brand version that they just stole from somebody else.
"もちろん利子はつけないであげるから一生かけて返してね。
I'll be taking all of your money.
But at least she's
Forever.
not charging interest. Tosaka clearly isn't joking. Even if I spent my whole life working to do it, I'd never be able to pay that back. Huh. I'd rather not think about it, but I think Tosaka's going to be in charge of my life from now on.
Yep.
We reach a clearing in the forest. The sun is rising, and a white layer of morning mist blankets the forest. Compared to the much denser forest around us, this is a good vantage point.
トサカ、ここ悪くないんじゃないのか。
そうね。条件はいくらかクリアしてるけど、見晴らしが良すぎるのがどうもね。これじゃあ私はともかくセイバーとシローの逃げ道がないもの。
Osaka's such a perfectionist, if she's even considering escape routes. What?
That sentence makes no sense.
It's not just me?
No.
Osaka's such a perfectionist, if even she's considering escape routes.
How is that perfectionism?
I don't know. Don't worry, Shiro. As long as you die here in the forest, then you don't have to worry about the mountain of debt you just racked up. True story, yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out what word they meant instead of perfectionist.
We in attack at least A rank.
That's true.
他を渡りましょう。大丈夫。まだ時間はあるわ。
Osaka returns to the forest. Look who put her proper armor back on. But Saber stands motionless, staring off into the distance. Well, staring at a tree,
Saber?
apparently, but...
何してるのよ。早くしないとイリアスフィールに。
Too late. A chill runs up my spine. I could never forget this feeling. I can't see him or feel his presence, but the sudden weight of the air pressing down around me is definitely coming from that villain from the Powerpuff Girls.
The definitely drag queen coded villain.
I mean... Ilia's voice echoes from somewhere in the forest. Imagine if Rin had summoned Paracelsus for the first time in her life when she's not in debt anytime she blows up a gem. Yeah, fair point, right? Artoria, listen to me because this is really important. Did you or did you not neatly fold the clothes you borrowed from Rin when you changed into your armor? Oh, yeah. They better be immaculately folded somewhere. Beyond the mist, from deeper in the forest, a dark figure approaches.
It's Ilia!
Is it Santa? Maybe it's because we're in a clearing with an open view of the sky, but it feels like Ilia is peeking down at us from up in the clouds.
やば、あいつもうシロを見つけたの？
Rin, you better get your ass up that
ここじゃ視界
tree.
が広すぎる。何よこのスピード。これじゃあ2分かからない。ちょっと何のんびりしてるのよ2人とも。ここじゃまずいって言ってるでしょ。早く場所を変えないと。
No time.
Osaka grabs our hands, but it's too late.
いや、ここでいい、トサカ。3人で戦えるだけでも良好なんだ。これ以上は求められない。
バカ、それがまずいんだってば。ここじゃ横幅がありすぎるの。セイバーだけじゃバーサーカーを止められないし、いくら離れてたってあんたも間合いに入っちゃうじゃない。
トサカが心配してくれてるのは分かってる。けど危険なのはみんな一緒だ。それにこうなっちゃ逃げ道なんかないんじゃないのか。
それはそうだけど。
セイバーもいいな。ここでバーサーカーを迎え撃つ。
Saber nods quietly.
もう分かったわよ。簡単にやられたら怒るからね。
Osaka, apparently convinced, disappears into the mist. Once she goes into action, she acts quickly. She darts into the forest and then scrambles up a tree.
来るぞセガ、準備はいいか。
あなたも戦いが始まったら決してここから前には出ないように。何があろうとバーサーカーをここには近づけさせません。
The mist wavers. Her can bench press a dump truck. Openness of the area doesn't matter because even if there were trees for cover, they'd be gone in seconds. Yep. Lily didn't even put her coat on when she came out here. She's gonna be freezing right now.
No. You know, genuinely, when a woman is pissed, their entire body runs warm. She doesn't need a jacket. She's functioning on pure rage.
A dark shadow spreads across the clearing. A mad warrior led by a pale girl steps into view.
意外ね。てっきり最後まで逃げ回るとばかり思ってたのに。それとももう観念したの、お兄ちゃん。
Ilya is about 40 meters from me. We face each other from opposite ends of the clearing.
セイバーは治ったんだ。そっか。だから逃げ回るのはやめにしたのね。
Being naughty, aren't ya?
欲しいな。そんなことで私に勝てると思うのは可愛いんだけど。残念ね。シロはここで死ぬんだもの。
Her giggles echo in the forest. Apparently, that ticks her off. Saber, still standing beside me, is practically vibrating with animosity. She might launch herself forward at any moment.
もうつまんないな。ずいぶん無口になっちゃったのね。もしかして殺されるのは怖いの？そんなのもったいないよ。今命乞いをすれば私も許してあげないこともないんだから。
Osaka's probably in position. She'll probably want to be as close to the center of the clearing as she can get. There's a spot where the tree branches overlap. Should be sturdy enough to support her weight.
そう。あくまでそういう態度なんだ。なら、もうおしゃべりはここまでだね。リンともども殺してあげ。待ちなさい。リンはどうしたの？シロ。
I have to give it to Berserker's master. She knows better than to overlook any details.
遠坂はここにはいない。あいつと俺たちは塔に別れた。
別行動をとったの？そっか。セイバーを連れてるシロは足手まといだものね。リン一人ならもっと遠くに逃げられる。
そういうことだ。もうとっくに森を出てるだろう。今から追っても間に合わないぞ。
そうかしら。この森はアインツベルンの結界よ。誰が入ってきて誰が出ていったかぐらいはわかるんだから。あれから外に出た人間は一人もいない。リンはまだ森にいるわ。探し出すのはこの後でも十分よ。
Well, that's a relief. If Ilya only detects who's going in and out of the forest, then she doesn't know where Tosaka is now. That, and she believed my story pretty easily. Ilya is a truly merciless master. But, is she too merciless to have a chance to start over?
イリア、戦う前にもう一度だけ聞くぞ。マスターを辞めて、こんな戦いをやめることはできないのか？
できないよ。おじいさまの言いつけだもの。バーサーカーがいる限り、私はアインツベルンのマスターなの。 イリアは他のマスターたちを殺して聖杯を持ち帰らなくちゃいけないんだから。それにもう一度だけ聞くのはこっちだよ。私はアインツベルンの当主だからあんな言葉二度は言わないわ。けどシローが答え直すって言うんならちゃんと聞いてあげてもいいんだよ。
He sounds almost hopeful. But as long as I have Saber with me, I can't agree to what she's asking.
答えは変わらない。俺はセイバーのマスターだ。お前がマスターを辞めないって言うんなら、バーサーカーを倒して辞めさせる。
I look at both Ilya and Berserker and say that. In that instant, the air in the clearing tenses with a sharp snapping sound.
そう。なら、本気で殺してあげる。その思い上がりと一緒に、粉々に砕いてあげるわ、シロー。
The heck is that? There's some sort of inscription appearing on Ilya's face. It's not just her face, though. It's a huge command spell covering her entire body, and I can even see it at this distance. So much more massive than the ones we have.
遊びは終わりよ。蹴散らしなさい、ヘラクレス。
Ilya's voice is completely lifeless, and in response, the giant behind her howls. Yeah, I don't know why they keep saying those are Ilya's command or magic command spells. Those are just her magic. It's just her magic circuits. Just her magic crest. Like, it's not her command spells. His roar shakes the earth. He screams and thrashes like he's lost his mind. His abilities grow even more powerful, like his body is swelling with the formed masses.
そんな理性を奪っていただけで凶暴化させていなかったというのか。
I'm not surprised Saber's shuddering. Even I, who can't gauge the warrior's strength, can tell I shouldn't be getting anywhere near that monster.
行け。近寄る者はみんな殺しちゃえ。バーサーカー。
The air explodes. The giant bellows a roar so different from its anguished wail and leaps. A streak of silver surges forward in answer. Berserker lands in the middle of the clearing. The earth shakes. Saber intercepts Berserker as if stopping a falling meteor. It's like watching a mythical battle unfolding in front of me.
I mean, technically that's exactly what's happening, Shiro. Congratulations on finally adequately explaining the thing that's happening.
In a forest shrouded by morning mist, two shadows clash relentlessly. Berserker is simply overwhelming. To be fair, Shiro still kind of knows fuck all about how magic circuits work, so when he sees a bunch of glowing red lines suddenly show up on someone, he probably just assumed they were big command spells. Yeah, fair.
I will say this. That said, him saying two shadows clash relentlessly instead of me thinking about this sort of fight now has me just picturing Saber and Berserker having a shadow puppet war. Like, not actually fighting, but just, like, having a shadow puppet battle.
Berserker's swipes are like whirlwinds, his downward strikes like waterfalls. Even Saber something, I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
But Saber deflects his every attack without faltering or hesitating. She swipes aside the barrage of strikes raining down on her like a raging storm. To fail would mean being cut down on the spot. To Saber, each of the rapid blows seemed to strike with her opponent's full might. The clash of swords echoes around the clearing. Berserker has greater reach. Berserker is faster. Berserker has more stamina. All Saber can do is parry the titanic surges of wind from Berserker's swings to mitigate the sheer strength, all just to avoid being cut in half. Berserker's like a broken jackhammer. His blade spins in all directions, annihilating everything in its path. Just getting in reach could only be fatal. There would be no hope of escape. They'd get caught in that whirling blade and ground to dust. No normal human would have a chance against that. And if getting close can only mean death, then the only option is fleeing. But Saber steps into the whirlwind and doesn't retreat. She'll be shredded to pieces. The sword sparks off of her, slowly chipping her armor away. Standing in the middle of that vortex, she could be dead in a heartbeat. I can only hold my breath. In ancient times, heroes who fought dragons and demonic beasts must have all been like this. Like her. They knew perfectly well how vast the gap in strength between them is. But they bet everything on a 1 in a million shot. A seething mass of violence beyond anything humans are capable of. They just defended it until a single opportunity presented itself. Many warriors died without ever seeing the miracle they were waiting for. That's exactly what this battle is. Saber dying without seeing the miracle she was waiting for? It's a glamorous, eye-catching battle, but it only ends one way, with Saber's defeat. Each blow chips away a little more at her. Berserker's roar shakes the ground. The sheer whirlwind of his frenzy churns up the atmosphere and sends Saber flying as she tries to defend. Every time Berserker's attack chip away a bit of Saber's armor, she's thrown to the ground. But instead of remaining down on her knees, Saber charges right back at Berserker every time. But she's at her limit. Saber's breathing is labored and her movements are visibly slowing. There won't be any opening. In a few moments, Berserker's titanic weapon will shatter Saber's sword. I grip the bow I made. I'm going to save. I know, it's all futile. This little bow I made can't even scratch Berserker. He won't bother to dodge the arrow. It can't possibly hurt him. Probably all I do is get in the way and make things even harder for Saber. Can't do anything. Saber's about to collapse right in front of me, but I can't do anything. If I ran. If running at Berserker and punching him would save Saber, I'd have already done it. But there'd be no point. No matter what I do, I can only get in Saber's way. Slash. Saber sinks into the ground all the way to her ankles and she carries a massive blow. The parrying blade is swift but heavy. The axe sword strikes down from overhead. The brutally powerful weapon grazes Saber's armor as she dodges, then tears up the earth itself. My jaws clench so hard my teeth could well shatter. Is there really nothing I can do? I can't protect Saber. I can't fight alongside her. There's nothing I can do. All I can do is...
ならばせめてイメージしろ。お前にできることなど所詮その程度でしかないのだ。
Archer said something like that.
外敵などいらぬ。お前にとって戦う相手とは自身のイメージに他ならない。
Yeah. What was he saying again? It wasn't one of his typical snide remarks, but what he said had weight and importance to it, and I needed to understand. Then again, probably everything he told me was a warning I shouldn't ignore. Saber goes flying. This time it's not because she leaped away to evade. Berserker hit her this time. That hurricane slash strikes Saber in the side. She stumbles. Coughing violently, she grips her weapon tighter and turns back toward Berserker. The giant doesn't miss the opening Saber finally provides. My voice doesn't reach them. Shouting is useless, and trying to use the bow like Archer would be pointless. Don't I understand yet? What can I do? What should these hands of mine be doing? That's right. What do I need to save Saber? I can't use a bow. A spear won't pierce him. Having a weapon just like the enemies is no solution either. To go up against that giant, a sword to cut through a mountain of stone. An opulent sword, sharper than sharp, that will never dull. A king's sword, able to cut down enemies in a single blow. Like that golden sword I saw in my dream. A sword fit for her. My head hurts. I try to fight down my nausea, but I never take my eyes off of Saber. Strangely, the longer I watch Saber fall, the more this indestructible pain assaults me. Saber and Berserker seem to be moving in slow motion. I see a row of switches line up. Saber coughs, and for a brief instant she arches in pain. Berserker smashes his axe sword down toward her with all of his might. It's as if there's a row of nails in need of hammering down. It's like he's knocking down dominoes. The switch flips. Berserker's axe sword cuts Saber down. She's going to die. The strike splits Saber in half at the waist, and pieces of her flesh go flying. The only thing that's gone flying is pieces of armor. Berserker's only split Saber's armor. Saber left herself open to bait Berserker into a single huge swing, and with every ounce of strength she has, she rushes at him. A black roar rips through the air.
Oh, Congratulations, Shiro. You can see the text boxes. It's a black roar.
Damn right. But you know what it isn't? It's not a bear roar!
No.
But he can't escape now. Saber's right in front of him. She shifts her grip on her sword and draws in closer, then swings with all of her might. I don't believe this. Saber's attack hits home, and the giant, who seems so immovable, flies back several meters. And then comes the true attack. She must intend to release the attack from as close as possible. Tosaka jumps down from the branch above and throws her jewels at Berserker as she falls. Now you're speaking German. Shards of ice rain on Berserker. Among those shards are 3 giant, spear-shaped icicles, each packed with enough magical energy to blow an entire mansion to smithereens. Ilya, quiet until now, suddenly screams at her servant. She must have sensed the danger, but too late. The ice spears aren't falling. They're accelerating toward Berserker. He can't possibly dodge. A 1 in a million opportunity. Saber's desperate attack, perfectly coordinated with the ice bullet attacks. It has more than enough magical energy to kill Berserker. However, the axe sword slices through the air. Even as Saber drives him back, he switches to a single-handed grip on his axe sword and shatters all 3 ice spears. Blood splatters the clearing.
Bye, Tosaka.
Maybe it's his one-arm swing, but he fails to completely destroy the ice, and when it strikes, it severs one of Berserker's arms. That's not all. The ice freezes over Berserker's arm, completely restraining it. But it only got 1 arm. Saber cries out. It's a reasonable response. Berserker catches Tosaka with his good arm as she falls. Tosaka's face twists in pain. Berserker will have no trouble crushing Tosaka with his hand.
Tosaka!
I run. I don't care if I drag them down. Doesn't matter if I can't do anything. I'm not going to let Tosaka die. Saber must be too weak to even stand, but somehow she gets to her feet. Tosaka must be in agonizing pain, but she stretches a hand out as she hangs her head downward. And then... she grins wickedly. Everyone gasps. Saber, me, and even Berserker must have all frozen in our tracks. One person can only have so many tricks up their sleeve. She knew this might happen, and she hadn't even bothered to tell us. Berserker squeezes harder around her. He's a heartbeat too late. Four bullets of pure light streak toward Berserker. 4 bullets, 4 gems. 4 rapid shots at the most extreme close range. That has to be enough to end the dark, mad warrior. Or rather, the attack perfectly, completely snuffs out his life.
One of them.
It must have blown Berserker's head clean off. The blood splatter even reaches me 10 meters from where Berserker stands. There's kind of a lot more than blood in the mess, but I don't think she overdid it. Our opponent was a monster. Berserker would have crushed Tosaka if she hadn't blown his head off. I slow my frantic run. Tosaka's still in Berserker's grip, but the battle's over. Berserker's face is still hidden in a plume of smoke.
I love the chat's pointing out that if Berserker wasn't filled with bullshit, she'd have killed the servant more or less successfully on her own.
Yep. From that singing sound. Singing sound? Must have been a hell of an explode.
嘘。
Guys, you should see if he was starting to disappear. The fact that he isn't turning into gold sparkles already should be putting a lot of warning signs. Yeah. She's looking at the smoke in disbelief. Hold on. Am I imagining things? Did Berserker's hand tighten on Tosaka? Tosaka's staring at the plume of smoke. It doesn't last long. The smoke starts to dissipate. And in the clearing air, Berserker's face, the face that should have been blown off his body, appears. Tosaka cowers under that evil demon's gaze, at a loss for words. Laughter fills the air. Ilya, who's remained at the far side of the clearing, laughs delightedly.
見直したわり。まさか一回だけでもバーサーカーを殺すなんてね。
Confirmation, Rin did get a kill.
でも残念でした。バーサーカーはそれくらいじゃ消えないんだ。だってね、そいつは12回殺されなくちゃ死ねない体なんだから。
And that was only number 7.
12回殺される。
She must have figured something out from what Ilya just told her. Tosaka looks aghast, her face twisting in regret.
そっか。神名が分かった時点で思い当たるべきだった。ヘラクレスって言ったらヒドラの弓なのに、持ってるのはただの岩だった。だからこいつの宝具はものじゃないんだ。英雄ヘラクレスのシンボルはそう、肉体そのものがヘラクレスの宝具なのよ。あなたも知っているでしょ、ヘラクレスの12の難行を。ギリシャの英雄ヘラクレスは己が罪を償うために12もの冒険を乗り越え、そのご褒美として不死になった。この意味あなたならわかるでしょ。命のストック、蘇生魔術の重ねがけ。ええ、だからそいつは簡単には死ねないの。かつて自分が乗り越えた分の試練は生き延びてしまう神々にかけられた不死の呪い。それが私のバーサーカーの宝具、ゴッドハンドなんだから。わかった？バーサーカーは今ので死んでしまったけど、あと5つの命があるの。
Ilya just casually admitting that Archer killed her berserker 6 times.
欲しかったわね、リー。今のが5倍の宝石だったらバーサーカーは消えていたのに。
Oh, if only you'd used 5 times the amount of money.
I can't hear Ilya's voice clearly. From the corner of my eye, I see Saber charging Berserker.
リン逃げて
Saber dashes over. Tosaka tries to pry open Berserker's fingers, but they won't budge. And then...
いいよバーサーカー、そいつ潰しちゃえ。
The burning eyes glare at Tosaka. Tosaka screams. Berserker's enormous fingers dig into Tosaka, trying to rip out her insides. There's only one outcome. Tosaka's lifeless body being crushed to nothing. I run. I forget who I'm up against. I even forget where I am. My mind is completely burned out.
させるか
Saber cuts toward Berserker. Her invisible sword swings at Berserker's defenseless arm as if slicing through a radish. But it's no use. Saber's attack pings harmlessly off of Berserker's arm. His grip on Tosaka doesn't loosen. Just moving must be agony for Saber. She swings her sword desperately, blood trickling from her mouth.
シロ
She freezes the instant she sees me rushing at Berserker.
話しやがれてめえ
I slap mindlessly at his back with my bow.
Oh my god, Shiro, you fucking dumbass.
Ah! I hit you with a bow! What are you gonna do about it?
You were literally picturing the right tool for the job like 2 minutes ago. The fuck is wrong with you?
Shiro bows are for shooting, not bashing. The giant is unfazed.
Well, yeah, you basically hit him with a twig.
You hit him with a stick, and it wasn't even a pointed stick. He doesn't consider me a threat. No shit. My fingers are getting numb. The hell is he? If I'm the one going numb from hitting him.
This has been explained. What he is has been explained to you numerous times, Shiro.
逃げてシロ
But what he doesn't have, what Heracles does not have, is a nicely folded shirt.
That is true. But that's because most stores don't sell shirts in XXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXX
I look up when I hear Saber. In that instant, I go flying through the air like a leaf.
Whee!
Leaves aren't really known for flying, more like fluttering. I hit the ground and tumble like a bit of stray garbage. Berserker smacked me away with that frozen sword. I try to block the attack with my bow, but it shatters instantly, and I'm thrown so far away. I writhe in pain. That breaking sound hadn't come from the bow. One of my arms is bent at the wrong angle, in the wrong spot. When I breathe in, my lungs hurt so bad I want to puke them up. I can't breathe properly with all the blood flooding my mouth. But that doesn't matter. Breathing will just make me pass out. Better that I not breathe.
Shiro, I'm fairly certain not breathing will also make you pass out.
Yeah, but it might make him pass out slower. I wake up. Right now, I need to get to him. Him. I run. It's my turn. I'm gonna break his arm and save Tosaka. He must have eyes in the back of his head. He swings his sword casually like he's batting aside a fly. I can dodge it. I won't let an arm that's completely frozen hit me so easily. Never mind.
How'd that work out for you? Bio. The special translation. Kid, if you couldn't tell, I'm busy trying to pop your friend's head off at the moment. So if you wouldn't mind, make like a leap and get the fuck out of here.
Damn, my body's sinking. He must have grazed my leg. Damn him, he didn't even touch my leg, but he somehow managed to break it anyway.
バカな。もういい。離れなさい、マスター。
I can't do that. I can't let Tosaka die. What do I need to do to save her? A weapon. A blade would be best. At my feet, broken pieces of the bow. Above me, Berserker's sword swinging right at me. There's no time to think. I let magical energy flow through me. The strengthening succeeds easily, but down comes Berserker's sword. The fragments are finally pulverized. I meant to dodge, but instead my body slams to the ground. Clearly, there was no point strengthening broken shards. I'll have to do this from scratch. It shouldn't be impossible. Anyone can imitate as long as they have an example to follow. I just need to duplicate the foundation, structure, work experience, time, and... The giant turns around. It must have decided to kill the little nuisance before finishing Tosaka off. I push up from the ground and glare at the giant. There's no fear. I'm too burned out for fear. But behind me, I see someone prepared to disappear. I see someone determined to use the sacred sword. Save it, and then we have to use it. By which I mean that's the death. Using it is the death.
Well, yeah, because the saber disappears as soon as she uses it, and then Berserker just kills her.
Yep. Besides, Shiro's alternate option is not using it. Anyway. The golden sword appears in Saber's hands. Berserker's grip on Tosaka tightens. I'm powerless. You're gonna let all three of us die. Is that really our only option?
I mean, I'm vaguely aware of altars. Mostly because Bio's shown me a couple. But...
It's our only chance at victory, using up the last of Saber's magical energy for her noble phantasm, and so endangering her existence. The giant releases Tosaka and charges at Saber. He meets the sacred sword as it sweeps the earth ahead of it. silver armor collapses. Saber falls to her knees, having converted the last of her magical energy into light. In front of her, Berserker remains intact. Yep, not enough battery behind it, Saber. Saber's starting to fade. She must not even have the strength to stand. Unable to rise, she looks up at Berserker.
お前も残念だったでしょ、バーサーカー。セイバーの魔力が万全だったのなら、お前も死にきれたでしょうに。
The giant sword swings down. Berserker doesn't wait for Saber to disappear. He crushes her. I knew this would happen. If Saber used her sacred sword, she'd disappear no matter the outcome of the battle. I knew, but I didn't stop her.
これでおしまい。さあ、どうするの、お兄ちゃん。このまま逃げてみるか、おとなしく私に殺されるか。あ、そうだ。自分から私に殺されるって言うんなら、リンは見逃してあげてもいいわ。
Can't even think. Saber's corpse is right in front of me. It's already become one with the earth. Can't escape. If I can't escape no matter what I do, at least.
いい子ね、シロ。じゃあ、連れてきて、バーサーカー。まずは、もう逃げ出せないようにしてあげちゃって。
Really so hard to wait until you have your servant death dot wave to start rushing towards where you think his servant just died, guys. A rush of wind obliterates everything below my waist. My senses are utterly overwhelmed with pain and despair. The pain, unfading. In the middle of the clearing, Tosaka's body is sprawled on the ground, long since having gone motionless. But on the bright side, my shirt was very nicely folded. And yeah, Hiro got fucking cut in half. Like all the way this time though, not just like most of the way like last time. Anyway, time to go hang out with Taiga and Ilya again.
おうす。些細な選択ミスで猫地獄にまっしぐらなあなたを救う修練場タイガー道場である。
あーっす。まさに絶好調。今ノリに乗ってる弟子1号で。
Look how fucking jazzed Ilya is about this.
キャットアウトヘブン。
なんでフルスイングするのよ、タイガー。私、なんか悪いことした？
黙らっしゃい。タイガー道場も8回目ですが、今までイリアちゃんがシロを殺めた数
Over half of
実
his
に5
deaths.
回。
Yep.
大量殺人にも程があるでしょ実際。
へえ、こんなの可愛い方だよ。
To be fair, I think this is the first time she's actually killed him. Every other time he's become a plushie. Or a head on her shelf.
だって最終的に一番白を殺す回数が多いのは。
Hey, spoilers!
テイネタバレ禁止権。
なんだ、当たらないようだ。だいたいね、リストじゃ私は最下位なんだから。
I'll believe that when I see it, Ilya.
ほらちゃんと見なさいよこの手帳。
こんなキラーリストが出回ってたのね。
Yeah. Also, most of the
Wonder-
deaths Ilya was
Just
responsible so
Daniel
far
Kuno
weren't
Uzuki.
actually deaths.
Well, yeah, I know that.
なんでイリアちゃんに「いい子でしょ」なんてついてるの？
それは私の立ち回りが優雅だからよ。
Ilya, because I have manners.
暇な人は私が白をやっつけるエンドを残らずチェックしてみてね。
Yeah, we're working on it.
再殺賞さんなんかとは微妙に違うことに気がつくから。
微妙な違い？ま、細かいことはどうでもいいか。考えると疲れるし。さて、今回のタイガー道場ですが、選択自体は間違えたものではないと思うけど、どうしてこんな結果になっちゃったのよ、弟子1号。
純粋な魔力不足よ。セイバーはエクスカリバーを使えるほどには回復したけど、宝具に注ぎ込むだけの魔力がなかったのね。あんなへっぽこなエクスカリバーじゃバーサーカーの命2回分も怪しいわ。
But he had 5 of them.
なるほど。今回は懸命であったがゆえに負けてしまった。
おし、受けに回ってもし、攻めに回ってもしの無情なタイトロープっす。
相変わらず微妙なバランスね。
微妙っていうか、キャラ性能的に積んでる感じね。
やるぺそう。じゃ、今回の道場はここまで。直前の選択肢に戻って若さゆえに無謀あふれる選択肢を選んでみてね。
As you do.
I mean, yes, but I almost feel like it's probably best to save how this ends till next week. We're 10 minutes from the end of time.
We are.
Just saying, Reen successfully killed Berserker.
Once.
Sure, but even still, really impressive for a human.
Yep. Archer killed him 6 times.
Yep.
Also very impressive for literally just a guy.
Yeah, well. Let's see.
Some nameless nobody servant coming in and shaving off half of Heracles' lives by himself.
Before getting the shit killed out of him.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like...
I'm not saying it's not impressive. I'm just saying he's still super dead.
There's only a handful of servants anywhere, ever, that even at their best could hope to take out Heracles from all 12. Like, there's a handful of servants that would have a prayer of defeating Heracles with all of his lives. And even then, they'd have to be A, trying, and B, not fuck up.
And supported presumably by a strong enough mage to allow them to actually use their full potential.
Or have independent action.
Fair.
Like, most archers have independent action, so like a sufficiently strong archer could theoretically do it. But I mean, Archer probably could have done more had Reen been there, like, in person, rather than supplying the magical energy from a distance. If she'd been there to, like, funnel mana directly, like, Archer probably could have got more than 6. Still don't think he could have taken Berserker from full, but, like, he probably could have got more than 6. Frankly. Yeah, Heracles also has a tendency to get even angrier and by extension even stronger when you actually kill him. Yeah. Yeah. The more he dies, the more he rages.
I mean, to be fair, I assume most people probably wouldn't enjoy being killed
Oh, probably
and feeling
not,
or
but
experiencing all that pain.
you would think not, but you know.
Reed felt his angry firsthand. Yeah, he did.
He is quite literally the definition of local man, literally too angry to die. Yeah. So,
I mean, I just appreciate the fact that in all of this, Ilya's just sitting back and going, am I strong enough to do something in all of this? Yes. Am I going to? No, Zerker's fine.
I mean, yeah, Berserker's got this. You know, that's the thing, is what does Ilya have to worry about? Like, her servant is literally Heracles, right? Like, what are you gonna do to kill Heracles, especially when he has 5 lives left?
Well, yes, but she's also aware of who Artoria is.
Yeah. And Excalibur is not strong enough to actually even kill him at all right now. Given her, you know, currently weakened state and being out of mana, basically. Could I kill these losers with a thought? Absolutely. Do I need to do anything to solve the problem? Hell no. Yeah, I mean, Artoria is frighteningly strong with a good master, right? Like, her stats are just bananas.
I mean, I stand by my assumption that it was presumably Artoria that tore up that park in the last war. That part of why both Kiritsugu and Artoria are like, you know what? Protect tiny incompetent Shiro from all of the things. Is presumably because she Excaliblasted a park out of necessity and killed a bunch of people. You know, that's just a theory until the game confirms it at some point in the future. Because you're not gonna convince me that's not what happened. But
Nothing. She knows nothing about Zero, basically. Just what she's been able to work out so far.
yeah, I've just been throwing thoughts at yeah, it's just my theory, my game theory. No, I just theorize. The thing is, I have played a lot of video games. I do a lot of writing of my own, so I'm usually pretty good at calling plot points in things. It takes, like, it's not often that a major plot point in a game isn't something that I figure out at least to some degree in advance. So, you know, I've been saying for months now that obviously Kiritsugu was like that Artoria was Kiritsugu's servant in the last war, which Inu confirmed on Thanksgiving, actually. So I've had that confirmed.
I mean,
for months.
there was no point in, like, she knew. There was no point in, like, sugarcoating it at that point. It's like, yeah, she's got the answer.
So, you know,
Might as well confirm it for her.
I'd already figured that out. So, you know, my long-standing theory, even since then, though Inu hasn't confirmed it, is that, you know, the park and the fire and the many people dead, I blame Kiritsugu and Artoria for, because why else would Kiritsugu feel guilty enough to adopt an orphan? So
He was bored, wanted to be a superhero.
no, sentient guilt. That's manifestation of guilt 101. But you know, so it's the same as how my brain kind of instantly clicked within the first couple of sessions of streaming to you know, Archer being Shiro, because there were just too many coincidences for even at that point for my brain to go, no, like there has to be more to this, because how else could it not? It's just a case of when you do a lot of reading, you play a lot of video games, and you do a lot of your own writing. Like the hardest part of writing for me is I want everything I write to be consistent, but I also hate the idea that, you know, what I write could be predictable. But at the same time, you don't want to, like, it's also poor writing to have something come out of literally nowhere. So,
But you run into a problem because either it's consistent and predictable, or you're just pulling random MacGuffins out of nowhere.
yeah.
Like, that's the only way you can be unpredictable, truly unpredictable, is just to pull random MacGuffins out of the air. And at that
And
point,
that's unsatisfying to read.
right, it's like, oh, what? I guess suddenly there's this new thing that is just no sells everything, which is like, you know, it can work, but it can. This is opinion. I think it only is satisfying and effective when a villain does that.
Yeah.
Like, a hero doing that is just bullshit. Like, it's just unearned, right? It's like, oh, well, okay, I guess you can just do that now. You've never had any hint of being able to do this before. It's just suddenly a thing that you have. Whereas if a villain does that, it's like, all right, we got the villain on the... Oh, shit, never mind.
Yeah, like when you get the Frieza, this isn't even my final form moment, that can be fun.
Or already in final form is like, oh, I have actually been holding back this entire time.
Yeah.
It's been even 100% of my power. Like, yes, you're doing the Super Saiyan thing, and it's very scary. Oh, no! But I'm not actually fighting you for real yet. Hold on, let me turn on the gas.
Yeah, like that can be rewarding. It feels so unearned when you do it for a character, and genuinely, that to me is part of why I enjoy video games and why I get frustrated when video games don't have a clear through line. Because yes, do video games without a clear through line sometimes catch me off guard? Yeah, but not in a satisfying way.
That's what was so, like, baffling when Sarge L. Natsu and I got to the end of Celasta. And you get to the end of it, and it's like, hey, the princess is a dragon, suddenly, and also, we don't have any time to explain, but here, you need to rest before you fight the boss, but you just said there's not time to explain. Here's a time bubble. Take a nap. Then why can't we talk about you being a dragon? There's no time! Yes, there is! You just put us in a time bubble! Like, it's so like, they just pull these random twists out of nowhere. They were not foreshadowed. They were not, like, it wasn't something you were gonna see coming. And it felt really unearned, and then you didn't get anything from it.
So, here's the thing, to Armstrong's point. I love the Pixar rules of writing. Inu, have you ever looked at the Pixar writing rules and writing guidelines?
I think so, but it's been a while.
So they have a list of rules that the studio all but literally requires their writers to follow. And one of them is coincidences to get characters into trouble are great. Coincidences that get them out of it are cheating.
Right, yeah.
Like
That's just a MacGuffin.
like they have to figure out how to get out of it on their own, or it's not satisfying.
If you just suddenly Deus Ex Machina people out of situations, like, yeah, that feels cheap. It's like, oh, we wrote ourselves into a corner. How do we fix it?
We're just talking about what does and doesn't make good writing. Because genuinely, one of the conversation points earlier had been people asking how much I know about the series, and the honest answer is what you guys have seen us play and what my brain has figured out. So, and the main reason why my brain has figured out as much as it has is just that I understand plot structure.
Yeah. So.
Oh, and yes, what Inu was referencing was a video game called Celasta, which he streamed with Sarge Ellen Natsu on Thursdays as the game before the game they're currently playing.
Was it only the one?
Yeah, it was the one directly before.
Right before we did.
Yeah, you went from D&D into D&D. Well, technically, you went into what's it called?
There was something in between. Wasn't
Yes, you did go into Wilderness DLC, but I think that technically was mid Baldur's Gate, wasn't it?
Might have been.
I-
Yeah, we might have put Baldur's Gate on hold for a while for that.
Bio can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you went from Celasta straight into BG3.
I think it was between DOS 2 and Celasta that we did Dokapon.
Yes. Dokapon was pre-Celasta.
By the way, there's another Dokapon coming out. I don't know if I told you.
Which one?
It's coming out on Steam. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a remaster of Dokapon 3.
Is that the, like, super anime one?
No, that was the one that came after Dokapon 2, which is what Dokapon Kingdom was a remake of, and then Kingdom Connect was a remaster of Dokapon Kingdom. So this is a remaster of the game that came out after the game that got remade into Dokapon Kingdom.
Okay.
Which means it's a SNES game, basically.
Okay.
Which Dokapon 2 also was, but this is... It's not Kingdom. Right? It's...
I mean, in all fairness, very few things are.
Yeah.
I love that game so much.
I've seen some of the Americanization of Super Sentai. Like I've seen a fair whack of Power Rangers over time and Beetleborgs.
I was
But
about to say, isn't that just Power Rangers?
yes, Super Sentai is basically Power Rangers. Kamen Rider. I think we had a Kamen Rider localization at one point as well, and then like Beetleborgs was a localization of some Sentai series. I think it was like Beetle Fighter G or something. So yeah, some familiarity, but like
Beetleborgs on the long list of shows. It feels sometimes it feels like you and I are the only ones that remember.
the thing about Beetleborgs is like for kids that were our age at the time it was coming out, like Beetleborgs saw you in a way that Power Rangers
Yes.
didn't. Because Power Rangers was more like,
High
oh look,
schoolers.
it's the teenage high school kids that are saving the world. And Beetleborgs was like, hey, it's Power Rangers, but elementary school kids instead.
So, you'll appreciate this on the subject of elementary school kids, but also our childhood. My third, fourth, fifth, and sixth graders finally convinced me to bring in some of my old Pokemon stuff to show them. And while I was flipping through, while I was like running them through stuff that was in the one box of my Pokemon cards I found, in there was my Charizard Burger King Gold card.
I know where mine's at.
My Pokeball got destroyed. I think you still have yours.
Yep.
But I was showing it to them. They're like, "What is this?" I said, "Well, it's a gold-plated Charizard card that we got for $2 alongside buying a meal at Burger King in like 1999, which is verifiable proof that when I was a kid, fast food toys were way cooler. And the kids were like, wait, you got like an actual gold-plated toy with your meal? I'm like, well, it wasn't a kid's meal as I recall. Like, you had to get a full-sized adult meal and then pay like $2 extra. But
those were just like collectible things. I think it was more than $2. I want to say it was like.
But
it was like
wasn't
$10 or something.
I don't think it was that much. But
Also, yeah, we're showing our age. People are like, damn, 1999, I was just barely born. Yeah. Yeah.
But to be fair, I was
when
6.
McDonald's said actual Bionicle sets, yeah.
But you know, I was explaining to the kids, I'm like, yeah, no, we used to get really cool stuff, like hit clips at McDonald's.
Well, hit clips with like a 30-second loop of that.
Well, yeah, but still, this was pre-iPad or iPod days.
Do you remember
so...
when Burger King was handing out those like fucking gigantic ass like Dragon Ball Z statues with the kids' meals?
So I don't remember that.
Because I think I still have a Goku one somewhere.
But I do distinctly remember the Shake 'em Up fries.
Shake 'em Up fries were the best.
Which our mom doesn't remember at all, and I'm like,
nobody
no.
remembers them except us.
I'm like, no, Mom, how have you forgotten Shake 'em Up fries? Eden and I were always on your case about wanting them.
Everyone I've talked to is like, I don't remember this. I don't think this is a thing. I'm like, no, it was a
No,
thing.
they were 100% a thing.
You got the bag. They gave you a little thing of cheese. You open the bag.
It was-
you put the thing in.
It was basically mac and cheese powder.
Mac and cheese powder for your French fries. It was great.
It was
terrible,
delicious.
but it's wonderful. And I
I
loved
have
it.
nothing but fond memories, and I'm sure we could recreate them by dumping a packet of mac and cheese powder on fresh hot fries.
Cheetle or something, you know.
Like,
Perhaps you two simply fell out of a portal from another world where Shake 'em Up fries were real. I swear
you
it
take
was a
that
thing.
back, they were. I'm googling because, like, it was definitely Burger King.
I swear it was a thing. It's definitely a thing. Yeah, Burger King definitely did like Shake 'em Up fries. It was great. Nobody remembers this
Except us.
except us, but it was definitely a very real thing.
Okay.
I don't think it was at the same time that like the Shrek
2002.
purple ketchup was going on, but
2002. Okay. So, in 2002, Burger King offered Shake 'em Up fries, which included a bag of fries and a packet of spices. The customer would add the spices to the fries and then shake the bag until the fries were coated. Beyond French fries, the company had introduced several other products over the course of its existence. But yeah, it was literally a packet of cheese dust that, okay, and actually Burger King recently posted a Throwback Thursday post to Shake 'em Up fries on Instagram with the little Get Cheesy Burger King Kids ad. Which literally had Bart Simpson on it.
that might, you know, that might be hype because that might be like an indication that they're considering bringing that shit back.
They should.
Like Burger King, listen, you want me to go buy fast food that isn't local taco chain for the first time in like 6 years? You bring back Shake 'em Up fries, I will go in and just buy Shake 'em Up fries. I don't want any of the rest of your trash food. I will go in and literally just buy Shake 'em Up fries.
Oh my god! You know what? I just remembered. Remember the little Burger King watches that just did the like dough sound? That's what those were from.
Yeah.
It was the same time period as the Shake 'em Up fries. Also, I love the Reddit post this picture is from is literally titled, "Does anybody else remember Shake 'em Up fries existing?"
Well, there was also, I don't know if you'll remember this, you might be way too young to remember this, but like 1997, 1998, around there, I can't remember what company it was, but they released a line of 3 Pokemon watches. They were Charizard, Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur themed. They were these gigantic fucking plastic monstrosities
Yes, I remember that.
that had buttons on it. and you press it. The Pokemon time is.
Yes, I remember them. And to answer the question of would I buy Shake 'em Up fries if they brought them back? Yes, I would. I'm sure I'd be tremendously disappointed with them as soon as I ate them. But would I go to Burger King just to buy Shake 'em Up fries? Yes. I would.
Like 1,000%. Yeah.
Don't you dare call us grandparents. You're not that much younger than we are.
Back in my day.
Or at the very least, you're not that much younger than I am. If you were born in 98, you're 5 years younger than me.
You
Like, that's not that
should
bad.
stay off my lawn. I don't have time to put up you goddamn whippersnappers. Oh god, when Baz and I started doing this shit, we were like 21. And now we're 34.
Yeah, I turn 32 next month. Jesus. Ugh.
Time is a cruel mistress. For sure. 35 in 6 months, yeah. Close to when I'll be hitting it, yeah.
Well, yeah, your half birthday is 2 days before my actual birthday.
Yeah.
Like, I'm one of the only people I know who knows the exact age difference to the day to their sibling. Inu is 2 years, 6 months, 2 days older than me.
Yep. Exactly.
Like, genuinely, and every time I say that, my friends are like, it's objectively weird that you know that. And my response is, what, have you never figured out when your half birthday is? It's not my fault. My brother and I know that our half birthdays are 2 days away from one another's birthdays. That makes it very easy to know what the age gap is between the two of us.
Yep.
And yes, I figure out how old I am by figuring out how old Inu is and then subtracting 2.5 more or less.
It's okay. I figure out my age by figuring out a friend of mine's age and then figuring out if it's August or not. And I know how old he is, but I don't know how old I am.
Meanwhile, Inu's birthday year is just easier to do year math on than mine. So I figure out how old he is and then figure out how old I am from that.
You know, shit be whack.
Alright. I did have us stop playing the game so I could get out of here on
And then
time.
you went
now
off
it's
on a
15 minutes.
huge tangent,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then we went off on a 25-minute tangent.
As happens, as you do. This is why it took Baz and I, like, 2.5 years to get through Stay Night. I mean, we were doing 15-minute episodes.
I was about to say
And-
15-minute episodes versus 3-hour streams, but I still feel like half the time we get objectively nothing done in these streams.
Yeah, well, you know, each of these streams is approximately 2 weeks worth of videos.
Yeah,
A little bit more than that, actually.
But-
2.5-ish weeks of videos.
right, but even then, like, objectively, I feel like we get basically nothing done every time we live stream.
That do be how it goes. It's been the case with every visual novel Baz and I have ever done. Stay Night, Mahoyo, Tsukihime,
Magical Diary.
Magical Diary 4 separate times now. It's just, you know.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, that's fair. The capture card did decide to eat the 15.
Yeah, the
first
capture
15
card
minutes
did
of
eat
stream
the
this
first
week.
15 minutes because I couldn't get it to fucking work, so. That was a pain in the dick. Anyway, hopefully it doesn't do that next week, because I would love for it not to do that next week.
Yeah, now I'm just hopeful that when I get home, for once, my internet's acting up. And it's been, like, in and out all day today.
Oh, good. I'd rather it be yours than mine.
No! You take that shit back. If I knew how to control my Wi-Fi cursing abilities, it would never touch my house. But I suppose we should probably let them go.
Yeah. So, we'll catch you next week for the finale of the Berserker situation.
Alright, see ya!